The password is Grand Dragon. The password is Grand Dragon.
And now, live from the Man Cave, Studio B, deep in the heart of constitutional Livingston County, Michigan, on a Tuesday night Trump Visit Rant, with your co-hosts, Kelli Uphaus, Patrick Acton, the wonderful Mr. Coffee is here, yours truly, Larry Parsons, our ever-present earwig, the real Tim Allen behind the scenes. This is my brain. And now your host, the man that Donald Trump didn't get to meet today, Mr. Jeremy Scott Gibbs. Remember, folks, white supremacists are Democrats.
There we go.
How was that?
That was great, Larry. I like that a lot. What were you looking for, Tim?
Why I can't.
Oh, go to us at the table?
I can't get it to come
Uh-oh.
on. Where are all our cameras?
Where are the cameras, man?
Where are all the cameras at?
I don't know. I will let you
We
play with
don't
it.
need no stinking cameras.
We do need stinking cameras. It's kind of the point of the show.
I had a full screen in the way.
There you
I
go.
have a couple full screens in the
Couple
way.
full screens in the way.
Yes.
All right, we'll do this. I was yelling at the
I'm on
children's the other
overlay,
day, and I
and
said,
then-
I'm not yelling. I'm German.
We don't need no
I'm
stinking
not
cameras.
mad. I'm German.
I am not mad. I am German. You ever watch those? There was a guy that put out a whole list of videos, and he would say like a word in 8 different languages, and he would end with the German word. and everyone was like, hospital, hospital, hospital. Krankenhausen! Like butterfly was something, it was like crazy word. I was like,
Still have
damn,
the
dude.
cameras.
Yeah, it was wild. Good stuff. Welcome to the show, even though you're just seeing a logo right now. Tim's working it out.
You know what would be great if I remembered how to do my fucking job.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
there's that
F-bomb right off
I'm
the
sorry,
top of the-
guys.
right off the bat.
I've been
You just
sick
got
for
right
a
off
week.
the
He has
bat.
been sick for a week.
And I
and
forgot how to push buttons.
There it is.
there it is.
And
We're
there it
on the
is.
screen. Yeah.
There it
The only reason
Why
you
do I
weren't-
feel like I'm like
you're 7 miles away, man.
7 miles away? I'm
'Cause
I'm messing with that.
All of the but we lost power
We
this
lost-
last week.
Yeah.
Yep, Tim's fucking up now. Yep. I am.
And
Firesaddle.
having lost power,
All the cameras reset.
and we didn't do anything since tonight.
Nope, we
I've
had
been
no
working
Sunday
on
show.
stuff. Tim's been sick and working on stuff. And
I'm feeling better now,
You're
but
supposed to just say no excuse, and we move on.
Right.
no, those aren't excuses.
no,
Those are reasons.
explanations.
You're
Yes.
apologizing.
I am not.
And
I'm
explain.
sorry, I'm not
And
apologizing.
explain.
I'm
And
sorry.
explain.
You can take down my words, but I will not.
Down.
Oh.
Oh, girl, baby,
girl.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Baby?
really?
Oh,
Baby
they
girl?
cannot take the
There's
words.
another motion to strike.
Another motion to strike the words. If you're not tuned into Roger Stone currently right now, you must be watching our show. So welcome. Kelli Uphaus will be joining us shortly at the table. She had a late client, and
She had excuses like, personal business ownership.
she owns her own business, so she's working. Thank you, Papa Bob. Papa Bob just
Yeah, but we weren't
Pointing
going
out
to
no
shed
cameras.
a tear for Kelly.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
her baby
Papa
imitation.
Bob is a perfectionist, by the way, so he doesn't
Is he?
put up with this bullshit. Yeah.
Well, tell Papa Bob to come in studio.
And learn where the buttons
No,
are,
we need
Papa
to get
Bob.
him here
You
with
can
his.
push
We
the
need to
buttons
get
for
him
me.
here. We need to get him here with his wood-fired pizza stove and make pizza.
Jeremy
I'm
kept
telling you. I'm
deciding,
telling you.
whether or not he wanted a rocket stove or some other. That's why our wood fire isn't built yet.
Have you
Yeah,
guys
I
seen?
do
Altering
want
them,
to. I do
Bob.
want a rocket stove.
Speaking of pizza stoves, have
Right.
you guys seen the pizza stoves that go on your grill now?
No. Okay.
Those
No,
look cool.
go
You
on
haven't
your
seen
grill.
that?
They go right on your. You cook them right out on the open grill.
No, this one, these UNOs, UUNOs, and they changed it to OONO because it's international company and it's easier people to say OONO, UNO or
Yeah.
ONO. whatever. The one little one he got at a garage sale, $30. It starts. That one sells for $300. It's bottom of the line.
Wow.
They go up to like $1,000.
I'm being called
Trying
out right
pizza?
now.
Oh,
Why?
somebody wants to know about dinner.
Did I do dinner? I recently had a guest on the show, and I did not make that. I did not have time to make that guest dinner.
Yeah.
And
He's
that
complaining.
guest is
Busting your chops.
busting my chops, and
Holding it
I
against us.
said to this person, I
Is
will.
that the person?
I
there?
will make you a special. Yes, I
Okay.
will make you a special dinner. Just you
Hello,
and I will hang
Latino.
out. We'll talk politics and life and,
Hello,
and farming and
Latino.
all of that stuff. So yes, Latino voice. I did serve dinner tonight.
All right. You want my take on that?
Yeah. So let me give you the list. I did chicken drummies, which is a frequent thing here because it's pretty easy to put them on the smoker for a couple hours. Sweet potato souffle, corn on the cob, and Patrick's signature salad.
Oh no!
What do you?
Patrick's. It wasn't his signature. This was.
Oh, this was a noose.
It was
but-
an signature. What the goal? We have to name them different things.
No.
This one's
I'm giving
badass,
it a
too.
general category
Yeah, this
because
one
it's
was
Patrick's.
different. It didn't have
Tim has
strawberry.
made salads in the past.
Yeah.
So when I say signature salad,
No,
I'm
that's
I'm,
his signature. It's like McDonald's started out with a burger and had a cheeseburger and then a
Oh,
shake.
oh,
You know, he's building his franchise here, man. You just can't.
I don't know,
go
Coffee.
we lost
Coffee,
3 viewers
to
while you're
just-
explaining.
I know, not to just argue with you, but my signature, I could sign my full first name. I could sign T.M. Allen. I could sign Tim Allen.
See?
So
No,
my
no,
signature
fuck
isn't the
that.
Tim's
same every
signature thing is
time.
his chips.
His-
That's his chips are awesome.
Yeah, his chips are. I mean, like
He's experimenting with a couple other local
really. His chips are
corn
fucking bad.
tortilla
Corn
maker. He found
tortillas.
one
Yeah.
at Kroger.
Yeah, that wasn't as good, and I had to go a little dark on it to get.
But
it
what was the one?
crispier.
What was the one?
It's
is
a
it Myers?
Michigan. It's a Michigan brand that's at Myers, and
Myers.
they
The
have a
tortillas that he
they have a
cuts?
Yeah.
flour tortilla that's real. It reminds me of my mom's Mexican dishes.
Now see
As
if,
a Norwegian Swede, she knew some authentic Mexican burrito from scratch recipes. They were
Now see if-
amazing.
sorry, Tim.
Nope, I'm done.
See if Tim changes up. Tim's signature chips are the first, and then there's another name.
then there's a
if he comes
variation?
up with
Oh,
All right,
see.
today was a signature Patrick variation
Well,
because you noticed immediately that it was a variation.
I did it,
It
but
was
as
very
soon as he
good.
put it
Yeah.
down, I eyeballed it. It
the
was
only
different.
reason there was a variation because one individual at this table told me he was getting bored with myself.
No, I did not say that.
Oh,
Rewind that fucking.
bullshit.
Hey, this guy's a liar, and he puts pills
Shit
up his,
is
up in his
flying
mouth.
now.
That's supposed to go in his
Listen,
ass.
we had a grant.
That's the best story ever.
We had,
suppositories orally.
That's the
We-
best story ever.
we had the former and future president visit the Grand Dragons here in Livingston County, and we're fighting over salads.
I tell you what. Can I give my
You
thing
can. I want to write it
Now-
down. I want to write down my number right here. It's going to
Okay,
be
it was
tarnished.
a 4.9 solid 4.9. Now
Shit.
it's just a 4.9. You know why? You fucked up. I said, man, that sweet potato fucking pie is the fucking best. Who made that? You said Gordon.
Yeah.
And you said Gordon's. I thought you meant Gordon. I said, I don't know that guy. And you go, like, smart ass that you are. You basically said, fuck you, old man. I said Gordon's, meaning Gordon's the food place.
Yeah.
That dropped it off the solid just to a 4.9 for the fact that I thought somebody made that. Everything else was fantastic.
Was
It would've been
was
the
the
highest
souffle
rating.
was still phenomenal?
Yeah, it was pretty good shit.
Okay, well, that's why we picked it.
No,
If you find some great stuff, do you make
You're
your
not going up
do you
to
make
a
your
40.
broish bread?
Hmm?
Do you make the bread, the buns for when we have
no, but
squint
they are
bread?
handmade.
Not by you though.
Right, but by a baker,
Okay,
the only
well,
one in
I'm
town.
just saying we picked a great one from Gordon's and you loved
No,
it. And the only disappointment is
It's
your
it had-
carnal knowledge.
Yeah, it's packed by fucking illegals over in
Oh,
fucking
it's
Lansing
no.
and grown by
That's
blah blah
hilarious.
blah. It was a good dinner, good fucking dinner.
Yep.
Hey, pipe in the first part of the show into Larry's ears only, because I don't think he heard anything that we're talking about.
No,
while he's-
probably not.
Uh-huh. Gordon
Probably
food.
not.
I'm here thinking about Gordon food.
Gordon Fisherman's fish sticks. What?
Gordon's fish sticks? I don't get it.
Yeah.
I am not gonna play that game.
Oh shit. So good food tonight.
Mhm. That's good.
Good stuff. You know, sometimes it's a little challenging
Yeah,
I
bet it
took
came-
3
to,
bites.
to cook and to come up with something new each time. I love to cook, but you can sometimes get into a little bit of a rut, a routine. And Tim does a great job taking care of a lot of the leftovers that end up in the fridge. Because we host parties, we end up with leftovers, but we also, if it's just him and I, will cook. And Tim he'll know what's been in there the longest, and he's got to eat it. Me, I do not very good on the leftovers. And now there's some that I absolutely love, right?
Yeah.
But I am such a variety guy, and I am so rebellious towards patterns and being stuck into a mode that I go, no. That was great yesterday. Not touching that for 3 days. And then 3 days later, I'll be like, I got a steak now. I'm not going to touch that. And then Tim will go, you want me to take care of that? I'm like, please, sir.
Fuck yeah. Don't throw it out. I hate throwing out food.
Next week, you don't have to worry about it because an individual at this table said something about his wife making a meatloaf.
And wait, and you know what? What would go great with that meatloaf that we're getting?
Like a pie of some kind, right?
Well,
Maybe
dessert.
what was it?
Banana cream pie would be good.
Yeah, a pie of some kind.
Like a coconut banana cream pie.
And that
Something like that.
and that squash that I brought that I've never had that Tim still has in the bowl.
Yeah.
I checked
Yeah,
it.
we want to
That
saute that up.
meatloaf and the banana cream pie. We're
I
good.
think that's
Get hold of Mrs. Parsons while you're
You're only getting
around
a-
here.
Well, you got to have a salad with it.
yeah.
Oh,
Salad,
fuck
of course.
yeah.
Of course.
That's just fucking no, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gee,
Goes without saying. Yes.
we want meatloaf. Get hold of the wife.
Come
while you're
on,
fucking
Larry.
around. Tell her she's on.
She's watching right now, and she's
Right.
like, "You obligated me to make meatloaf. You
Lovely
freaking
lady.
podcast."
There's some big men in this room. So you might need two of those. Depending on how big they are.
All right, gentlemen. Let's do this.
I was trying to remember what those things were called.
Start with a G. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's got a funky name.
You guys got good memories too. It's amazing.
Oh, here they are.
What is it?
These,
The gourds.
these bastards.
Chick-fil-A?
I got to figure out a recipe for these.
Oh,
I look
These
up that,
little-
like, what's
they look.
what's
You know what?
Patrick
You know
saying?
what? The more I looked at them, they look like abnormal watermelons.
Yeah,
Like the green shriveled up and the yellow splattered out.
Yeah, well, they're more. There's the pumpkin type are those,
Oh gosh.
but no, these are the ones he brought me,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah,
this
they're awesome.
striped squash kind of thing. Not those.
But the guy
Those.
said you could do it like you did the other squash, the
Sure.
JoJo's stuff. Ooh.
Yeah, I do like doing a panko fry
Yeah.
on a zucchini.
Yeah.
That's but those I'll look up some recipes for those, and I'm trying to remember what the name of those.
That was the best
zucchini I've ever had.
I will to give some shout outs before we get into disclaimers. I want to give a couple shout outs. Joni Jojo.
Yeah.
We ate her, what's that called? Cowboy candy?
Oh.
Tim put that in something the other day.
Oh, yeah, I took one of
What is cowboy
Vince's.
candy?
It's
You see that relish down there?
it's a jalapeno kind of prep, but I don't know what's the sauce. But I took one of a couple actually of Vince's fresh cucumbers and speared them up and soaked them in there for
that was
3-4 days.
So good.
Yeah, those are delicious.
Never had that before.
While I was sick this week, I was eating grilled cheese sandwiches and soup and having those on the side.
Her zucchini bread is badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's still one more loaf in there actually,
Oh, yeah.
uncut.
It didn't last long at my mom's. We
I
pulled out a
know.
loaf and gave it. It was her zucchini bread was awesome.
There's one more loaf in there.
So I want to give a couple shout outs tonight at the beginning of the show. Always enjoy the people over at the Heartland. It's technically a Howell address, but it's the Heartland Wings, etc. And the hockey team, the guys that I skate with on Monday nights, we hung out over there. Looks like they're potentially going to sponsor some jerseys for our skate.
Now, is this place that's getting just
They're
bum
getting-
rush because of the stupid
Yep,
construction?
they're getting
that's going on?
devastated right now because of the traffic out in front of the store or along Old 23 right there. And so I'm going to give them a shout out, and I want you guys to go in there.
Is Spartan Jim one of your boys' son? I see him on the chat.
Say what?
Spartan Jim, 1989, wings, etc. Says there.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
one of your boys?
That's probably Jim.
Yeah, we might have to do.
Spartan Jim.
We might have to
With the
do
owner.
We might have to do a graphic map on the foobardness of the traffic and show how you're supposed
Yeah,
to get
so
into
you're gonna
the
have to
place.
navigate a little bit to get in there, but go in
Yeah.
there, guys. And they're getting hammered. Two things happened. They brought in a B-dubs on the other side of the freeway on the north side. They're on the south side, on the southwest side, 59 and Old 23. And they've been a staple there for years. The band has played there 4 times. We've tried to get some dates figured out and go and play again. We'll get something figured out and we'll be playing there soon. But Jim and the whole crew there are phenomenal. Always, their hospitality is awesome. When we had my friend Chicago Jim, whose health is in severe decline, we actually hosted his birthday there a month and a half ago. And they had the whole area there for us. And we had, we packed it out with 60, 70 people. It was awesome.
Hey, Larry, if your wife tells you no, there's this guy, Jim, over on 23 with his wings and shit that you can just pick up a big pile of wings. And Tim, you up for that?
Yeah.
There's a new chicken place.
No.
No. We're talking about wings, etc. tonight.
Something by you.
I mean,
you can't do the meatloaf. Get with Spartan Jim. I'm a friend of his right here.
Yeah.
I've been doing my I've been doing my own wings when I've been doing my own chips too. So I got a pretty high bar.
They do a great job there. Okay, the next one I got to give a shout out right at the beginning of the show. The hair crew.
Yes.
Elizabeth and Ann over at the hair crew, and they've got another number of other gals that have joined their salon, and they're doing a great job. Their names are escaping. Yeah, Mom goes there.
Nice.
I go there.
Tim goes there. I go there.
Yep.
Tim goes there. Where is it?
Yeah.
They just dropped down a couple points
Oh,
there.
shut the hell up.
I'm due for a haircut. Where is this place?
It's right over on Grand River, just past the viaduct in that plaza with the plaza on the south side of the Ace Hardware. You know where the Ace Hardware is? And the rental place, Ace Hardware?
Yeah.
Okay. They're in that plaza on the south side. And they're right near the end by the laundromat.
I'm going to go there and tell them that I saw him on a podcast.
Absolutely.
Is that kind of where?
And I did, because it's right there.
Secretary of State in that area?
Is the Secretary of State right there?
Does Joni get her hair done there? Did your mom say Joni gets her hair done there? Joni.
I don't know if Joni Jojo does. Is that in
Secretary
the
of
chat?
State
No,
is terrible.
Yeah, they're horrible.
Absolutely terrible. I have been there 3 times in the last month and still don't have a Mustang plate. Still have a plate on my Mustang. The first time I went there, I went to the Highland place, the Highland Secretary of State. This was a month ago.
Mhm.
Right? They gave me a song and a dance, said they wanted me to pay for all of 2023 and all of 2024. And I said, no.
No.
I didn't drive my car last year. Well, your birthday's, 2 weeks away and blah, 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 blah. And, if you don't want to pay for last year, then we'll give you a 30-day plate today. And then you have to come back, sometime in August because that's when your birthday is.
It's ridiculous.
So it is ridiculous. So Friday, I get off early because it's raining. So I go to the Secretary of State. They said, oh, no, we can't see you.
Don't have an appointment.
You don't have an appointment.
I knew that.
And I said, don't have an appointment? Well, there's no Secretary of State by my house. Okay, I'll go there. Right? So I go to the next one, which is in Highland.
Mm-hmm.
And I pull up in Highland. The first one was in Livonia. I go to Highland. I pull up. I go in there. Oh, no, we're not going to see you today. You want to come back Tuesday?
But I'm here now. Why
the
not?
Secretary of State sucks under this administration.
Well,
It
all government
sucks.
agencies are generally piss poor.
Yeah. Well, the Secretary of State. Well, when Ruth Johnson
And now it's gotten
when
worse.
Ruth Johnson had it, you could go on Saturdays. They had
Well, now you
late
gotta
night,
make an
designated
appointment.
late night
Now you gotta make
because people actually have jobs in this
I
country.
know.
Correct.
There's people out there that do stuff like build
work
roads.
for a living.
They build roads and
Yeah.
they work 12 hours a day, 5 days a week. So I told them, I says, well, okay, I can make an appointment, no problem. You guys say 8 p.m. tomorrow? Well, no, we're not open that late. Okay. How about 8 p.m. the next day? Well, no, we're not open to 8 p.m. Okay. How about Saturday? no, we're not open on Saturday. So they want you to abide by the laws, but refuse to be accessible.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the Secretary of State sucks.
Yeah. So is this story done? Because I wanted to not let Coffee's comment about my hair go to waste. At one point, I was having Kelli do my hair. Ooh, she just walked into my webcam.
Kelli just walked
timing.
in. Yes.
But then she's all the way down there in Dexter. Is my microphone even on?
She does.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
She does house calls.
So, yeah.
She'll come here and do your hair. Just a couple of cans of
Well,
paint,
no, it's not. It's
dog
it's
clippers,
more
and
than
some
that.
paint.
It's not. No. No, Coffee. No.
I have to mess with you.
I think I painted my deck the same color, the same blue that's in his hair.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Kelly's still adjusting.
Kelly's in the house.
The reason they do what they do is because they're trying to push us into doing everything digitally. So that's
Well,
why
I
the
tried
Secretary
that.
of
I
State
tried
sucks.
that. I
How
went
do you-
online to
You
get
do
a license
hairstyles
plate,
digitally.
and it said car
Jetsons.
ineligible.
Oh, car ineligible.
Yeah,
Nice.
so it's ineligible for me to order a plate online,
Mhm.
and they won't see me in their little scumbag office.
Nope.
Yes, I feel your frustration. All right, back to go ahead, Kel. Back to the hair crew. Yes, they're over there by the nasty Secretary of State. But go see them despite their neighbors.
The secretary.
There are
of-
plenty of heads for all of us.
Go see them. They're awesome. They took care of the reason I know of them is because I don't know if it's in that plan.
Well, welcome, Kelly. Good to see you.
Yeah,
How was your day?
yeah. I don't think they're in there.
Your mom
Anyways,
said JoJo gets her hair done there.
JoJo May.
don't know.
Originally, it was Tanya's mom, Vicky, and Vicky would take Tanya's dad, over there to get his beard and hair trimmed in the last few years. So when he was really
Who
dealing
does
with the
yours?
dementia,
Your hair always looks good. Where do you get yours done?
the hair crew,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Elizabeth
Missed it.
takes care of me.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Missed it.
So
Fuck
there
you
we
with your
go.
hair. God damn, I hate people with thick hair. It is fucking hair. Fuck him.
It's the Irish.
He's
Hey,
Irish.
That's thick, man. All right, last shout out for the show, and then we'll get to disclaimers here quickly. I didn't think it would get into a lot of diatribes. Anyways, Jonah's Market. Just got to give them guys a shout out over there. Just getting to know them more and more every time. Jonah's Market over there on Michigan Avenue and 59. Phenomenal. Love going in there. They take care of every,
You didn't think we'd get into the diatribes? Have you seen your show?
Yes, that's
Have
true.
you tried the pizza at Jonah's? Their
Oh,
pizza
coffee
is
goes
to die
in.
for.
It's good.
He hasn't been there for the.
What the hell is
The
wrong
veterans
with
things.
you, man? Anybody? $12. $12. Pizza this big. It's a good, not the one that they sell that you order and you take
Have
out.
you tried their cheeseburger pizza?
No, I'm not a fucking truck driver.
No.
So
I don't-
You have to be
I
a
don't-
truck driver to
I
have
don't eat
cheeseburger.
shit.
Oh, yeah, dude.
cheeseburger, cheeseburger.
They gotta get pizza, man.
Pepsi, no Coke.
$12.
My husband just made pizza in the strangest way I've ever seen in my life. It was
Naked?
ground chicken with
No,
some
that's the way you're supposed to. make
cheese
pizza.
and eggs crushed into a bread or dough and then baked. And then he put pepperoni and sausage and all the meats on it and then cheese and then baked it again. And it was a meat pizza.
Oh,
You gotta get off
Did
the
you like
pizza.
it?
Last time we did
I
this,
didn't
we were
eat
sounds
that.
interesting.
fucking
You
around
didn't
for an
eat
hour.
that?
Oh my
I know.
God, I'd be sick for days.
Sick for days.
Yeah,
So you're saying no dough? He used.
he used ground chicken.
Yeah, I've
I
seen
think.
that recipe. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
nice.
shredded
So-
chicken as a dough with egg to hold it.
Move
together.
on.
Egg
the
and
pizza.
cheese. Yeah.
No, don't tell me what to do.
We'll
So
be on it for an hour.
I
Tim.
love pizza. You know, my favorite pizza recipe starts with slow roasting. Never mind.
Go, Larry.
what I did is I cooked the corn yesterday. My wife handled the dinner, and I cooked the corn. I discovered a new way to cook corn. So you
Go
pull
on.
it right out of the bag
your
after you
cornhole?
come from the farm. You hold it up, you dunk it in water,
Yes.
you put it on a plate, and you keep repeating till you have your desired amount. You put them in the microwave,
Ew.
and you cook them for 4 minutes each. So if you have 4,
And you take any nutrients remaining in that corn and destroy it.
That's not true.
Oh
That's
my
a
God! They have to
conspiracy
bum out
theory.
every.
Yeah.
Conspiracy
Right.
theory.
Do you know?
So-
Did you-
Just moves
no,
the
I'm not
water
done
around.
talking.
Well, go ahead and
I'm not done
Get it out.
talking. All right. Then after the corn comes out, right, you got to let it sit because it's steaming hot. right?
That's
Then you
what
take a
happens when you
knife.
cook it.
You take a knife when it's cool enough you can touch it. You take a knife and you cut it right at the last row of the kernel. Cut that off, and then you squeeze the tip, and
You
and the corn pops right out.
You do
And
the
you don't
cutting
have
first.
to. You don't have to.
I just turned into a 5-year-old.
you don't have to clean it.
You squeeze the tip.
No, you. Oh my God.
You squeeze the tip and it pops right out, and you don't have to clean it. I got it.
Yeah, yeah. The ear of
Why is Larry
corn
always turning
comes
corn?
flying out of the shuck.
You
There
do
you
the
go.
cutting first, Larry, and then you put it in the microwave 4 minutes.
You
Then you put
squeeze
your
the
mitt
end
on
of
and
the
just grab them as
corn.
they
There you
come out
go.
and squeeze
You
it.
detassel it.
Set it straight.
I don't even know. Let's do disclaimers before
All
we
right.
go.
Such a pervert.
I'm a pervert.
Oh
Have you ever
my
done the
goodness.
microwave?
You know, I hate when the tassels get into your teeth.
You detassel
Truck
it.
drivers.
Yeah. Actually, I heard the
Squeeze it.
tassels are actually highly nutritious.
Are they really?
Really?
I do it a little different. You know those
The
bags
corn
that you
cubes.
get in a box of cereal?
Yeah.
Okay. I save those, and I break up the corn and I put it in there with a little bit of water and a little bit of sugar on it, and I roll it up and I put it in the microwave. And then when you pull it out, it's steaming hot.
You talking about whole corn? Okay.
Yeah, no,
That's cool.
you know, and
Nice.
you only put it in there for like
Steamy
2-3
bag.
minutes. Yeah,
That's how I do broccoli.
and you can you can leave that rolled up, and you open it up, pull out a piece of corn, roll it back up, it keeps it nice and hot.
Okay, get her off the food because she's
All
gonna
right.
tell us we're
All right, let's do the
gonna die.
disclaimers. Let's do the disclaimers. Ready? Let's go.
Where's my tinfoil hat?
This is my brain notice. This podcast is mostly raw and unfiltered and completely politically incorrect.
If you didn't get that already.
We say Merry Christmas and the Pledge of Allegiance, especially the part about one nation under God. We thank our troops for their service. We only recognize 2 genders, unless you're talking about aliens, then it's a whole nother story. As adults, we enjoy adult beverages. We cuss. We do not curse or swear. We love Jesus and hate the religious and religious hypocrites.
Mhm.
If any of this offends you and you've never heard that before, that was a straight read with only one minor caveat.
Yeah. Usually interrupt quite a bit, but I did not. All right, let's do this. Let's start right off on the list. Mr. Coffee.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, except for bears. Bears will kill you.
Bears will kill
Fucking
you.
right, they will.
Just kill you.
Too early.
Tim
Did we try to
started
cut down on the cussing?
I
but,
dropped
Early.
No, I dropped the first F when I couldn't figure out what button to push.
Yeah. we try not to cuss. It just doesn't always fucking work.
No, there's sometimes a smarty pants in the room.
Sometimes.
Mhm.
Larry used to like keep track of how many F-bombs.
I
That's
dropped.
right. you used to
And then
actually
he's
keep
the one.
patches.
Then I like went 2 shows in a row without dropping any F-bombs, and he's like, "What the fuck?"
Yep.
And he started cussing just because to make up for the shortfall.
Oh, I did.
Patrick.
I would challenge you to a battle of wits, but I can clearly see that you are unarmed.
Love it.
Love it.
No
Love
arms.
Have you always put the clearly in?
He
but I
has,
can
from
clearly
day one.
see?
I noticed that too.
I
Tim.
thought I heard a show where you did, but I can see you are clearly unarmed.
Oh, he said it last
Has
week.
it
For
always
sure.
been in that?
He said it
but
the
I
week
can
before
clearly
too.
see?
Pretty
Yeah,
consistent.
I know. I think Patrick can answer his own. I haven't heard his voice. Y'all answered for
These
him.
guys hear me though.
I know. I can.
To argue with a person who has renounced the use of reason is like administering medicine to the dead.
It's just unlogical.
Thomas Paine.
And useless
Unlogical.
I use that all the time actually when I'm dealing with
because you have.
tards.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Oh, last
yeah.
night on the sheriff's court. Holy smokes.
Larry.
Ooh, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, comma, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, period. That is the Second Amendment to the United States Constitution that is in the Bill of Rights. And it was issued on December 15th, 1791, and it expires
When?
the day the country dies.
From my cold dead hands. Let's do this one. I haven't done this one in a while. A government big enough to
Yes.
give you everything you want.
Yes.
Kamala, Democrats,
Yes.
is big enough to take away everything you
I
have.
just heard that last week.
Thomas Jefferson.
Oh, you mean like Let's see, giving everybody $25,000 for
Buy
a
a
new
house.
home, or
Oh, wait,
like
but did
paying off
you hear the
college
caveat
debt?
though? Did you hear the caveat on buying the new home?
First time buyer.
You have to be a first-time home buyer.
Yeah.
Meaning,
Oh.
if your parents bought a house and raised you properly, you don't qualify.
That's not true.
No, that's not true, dude.
No. If you got a house from your parents, no. You have to be a
First-time,
First-time
homeowner.
mortgage.
first-time home buyer.
Yeah.
I just heard it today
Yeah, I heard.
on
last week,
Infowars
man.
that you had to be.
So you're saying if
That
you
don't sound-
inherited your parents' house, it doesn't count? You've lost that out?
No, that if you've had, basically, it's a program for illegals
Oh yeah.
that you don't have a history of anybody ever owning a home in your place. We're going to give you $25,000 to buy a house.
What's so stupid about that? Remember when they gave out the subsidies for electric vehicles, and then Ford immediately, it was $5,000,
And they
You
immediately
bought-
raised the
They
price.
raised it $5,000. So with the housing, they'll do the same thing. Go
Mhm.
ahead, you know. And me and you'll be paying
Yeah.
because we bought homes. So I don't
And
know
that's-
for
and
my
that's the-
fifth or whatever.
Right.
So we'll be paying, but
to buy
they'll raise
everybody
the
else a
fucking
house.
house 25,000.
Well, of course they will.
Well, that's what I also heard today. All right, let's do this. Wrap this up.
Never
Never apologize and never explain. It's a sign of
Are your
weakness.
feelings
Her
hurt?
words down.
Oh,
Played half of this
girl,
already.
baby girl.
oh, really, baby?
Fine.
Oh, they cannot take the
There's
words.
another motion to strike her words again.
Girl, I don't think
We are gonna move and we're gonna take your words down.
I'm not apologizing.
Well, then you're not
Reserve the right to
striking your
object.
words.
I am
You're
not
not
apologizing.
Chair recognizes Ms. Green.
I repeat again for the second time. Yes, I'll
All
strike
right.
my words,
That-
but I'm not
all right.
apologizing.
Without objection, without
Not
objection.
apologizing.
Chair
Reserving the right
recognize-
to
No,
objection.
let's go.
It's like
Come
a
on, guys.
soap opera.
It is.
Yeah,
Up the-
but
up
I
the-
love. I actually love Representative Green. Or
I do
Yeah.
too. I think
She
she's
cracks me up.
MTG
she's
is awesome.
wonderful.
And you know what?
Ella,
Deborah?
Don't you
he
listen?
started it.
We can't do that every show.
Okay.
Hey,
I wonder if Casey.
you know
sets
what?
up
That's the
Casey.
closest that
Casey.
we've ever gotten to.
Ella.
That's one thing I love about
Oh.
the difference between
Larry?
American politics
Watch your
and
list.
and
Oh, the UK. or
the
whatever.
UK.
Oh, they're badass.
I love their parliament because somebody will be up there talking
Yeah.
and the
they-
whole gallery go, no, you're full of shit, man. You no, yes, no, you're not right. And they have to take it and kind of recover a little bit and go, no, this is gentlemen, I'm not saying this. I'm saying no, you're full of shit, man. They can heckle the hell out of them. I'm like, dude, we need to have that here in America. It's like
It's starting. It's
Well,
we're in the
I know,
process.
but in
It's not quorum.
UK Parliament,
Yeah.
it's straight up.
It's decorum.
It's
Yeah.
it's part of their decorum. They're like,
Yeah.
you say bullshit, I'm gonna call you out.
Hey, you know how some of their swear words are not swear words, or do they swear like we
They
say
call-
fuck or something? But do they have words that are
Yeah.
swear words that
Yeah.
we
Oh,
don't
bollocks.
recognize?
No, cunt.
Bollocks.
Cunt is their
Oh, is
worst
that-
one.
Cunt.
Is their
bollocks.
worst
Bollocks,
one.
That's
okay.
It's
the-
like their F bomb.
It's,
Yeah.
Oh, really?
No,
Yes.
it's
Do
like
not
saying-
say
No, it is.
can't understand normal.
commonality wise, it would be equivalent to us the amount of
No.
times we would say shit.
Nope,
What's that?
not even close. Sorry, Kelly.
Cunt.
They won't let cunt on
Okay,
BBC.
well, my British
On
friends
BBC.
would disagree with
The
you,
BBC
so,
will not let
you know,
cunt on TV.
They
We've had
also
shit on for
call
20 years.
women who are not smart thick.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
thick.
Yeah.
And
That's
I
right.
was with one of my friends when he said that about a girl that was like flirting with him and he had
Yeah.
no interest. And he goes, "She's a bit thick, don't you think?" And I was like,
Yeah.
and she said, "Did he just call me fat?"
Facts.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
"No, honey."
And what's
No.
what's a British? What's
No,
a
he
British?
called you dumb.
What's a British fan? What's a British fanny?
A fanny's the front.
The front.
The front.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's a bunch of different stuff. Yeah.
It's the
And you don't
hoo-ha.
put things in a trunk. You put it in the boot.
the boot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you don't open the hood, you open the bonnet.
Correct. And if you
Oh.
want to go up, you get on the lift,
Yep.
not the elevator.
Yeah.
And
The loo is
don't
the
get.
toilet.
And if
Fine,
you're
do that one.
Scottish,
Do that one.
don't get
Water
into
closet.
a
Yeah,
voice only elevator because you'll never get off.
No.
What?
Oh,
11.
But I gotta tell
Say
you,
your floor.
don't call a Scot Scottish.
Oh,
They
s-
will-
oh, a Scot, yes.
You're a Scot.
A Scot.
It
Oh,
is-
really?
You know what's funny is
So
we
that
have
would
that
be
here though.
offensive
like,
if I went, "Oh, are you Scottish?" He'd be like, "Whoa, pal, it's I'm a- Scott."
in the
I'm a
U.S.
Scot.
okay.
What about it?
I've never heard the term door wall until I moved here. I didn't know what a door wall was. People would say, "Oh, it's over by the door wall." I'm like, "What the hell's a door wall?"
Right?
I had no idea. I thought it was the wall that was next to the door, but there's a lot of those in houses sometimes. So
Yeah.
I didn't know. And somebody finally explained to me it's a slider.
Yeah.
And out
okay.
west, we call it a slider.
Yeah,
we
I got a
don't
slider.
call it a door wall.
You know,
So
I
they
think
call
that's
the slider a door wall.
We just call it a slider.
well. I think that's one of the ones that as far as building terms, there's a difference in the building terms.
Yeah.
Because you can, like a French door, other things like that. That's when you get into it. But if I was framing a house, it doesn't matter what is actually going in from the framing standpoint. It could be a French door, it could be a slider, it could be this. That's the door
It's
wall.
the door
Let
wall.
me ask you this,
Yeah.
because I have a slider going out of my kitchen.
Yeah.
Where the hell is it? Door spot that way. It slides right in the middle of the. Where's the? Do they frame around so it can slide in there? Because studs are every 16 inches or something. Where the studs? I'm gonna now. You know what I'm
There's two
saying?
panes of glass that go past each other.
No. This is a wall. It's going into the living room,
Oh,
and the
pocket
slider
door.
comes out of it. No, the wood door. That's
That's a
that big.
pocket door.
It's a slider.
It's a
I will
pocket
show you the
door.
pocket door in the men's
That's
side
a
over here.
pocket
So
door.
all right,
Pocket door.
Okay, pocket door. I stand corrected. Where the fuck are the
You
studs
said-
when my pocket goes that way into the wall?
Well, I can show you down there in the man cave, but for the audience, let's do this. I'm going to show you a pocket
Let's
door
move
frame.
on.
No, this is good. We want to.
So you have
Hey,
a
while
glass
he's looking,
pocket door?
I want to tell you how I was offended today, and you will be there someday when you're my
Okay.
age. I went down for my went down. They
Put
got
it
me
up.
in a week. I got to change my meds.
Put it up.
I was offended.
You were
You know why? What do they do when you first go in? They weigh you and
Take your
They
blood
your-
pressure.
Yeah,
no,
and your
they
height.
wait.
All right, here,
Wait
look,
till they
coffee.
stop doing your height.
All right, look at this coffee.
Hmm.
So there's your door. They run horizontal 3/4 inch boards
This is built in the 50s.
on each side. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay. So it slides between those, and there's some
Yeah.
on the other side.
Yep.
Okay.
And there's a track on the
Nice.
So
top.
they're showing them.
We had a
those are
bunch
really
of
studs.
those doors in our house when I grew up in Walled Lake.
Yeah, slider doors.
It's a
Pocket
good
doors?
space
Pocket doors.
saver
Go into the wall.
See, don't get it started.
till it
Tim.
falls
they just
off the
corrected me
track
on
and you
that.
can't
You
get it to close.
Yeah. Or it falls off the track in the wall and you
Yep.
can't get a hold of
And
it.
you can't get it
You know
out.
what the most difficult thing is
no.
with a pocket door is? You have to paint it or do whatever you're going to do to it before you trim it.
Yeah.
Because once you put the trim on, it's locked in.
Oh,
And I've had to work on a
Uh,
couple doors that are off, and you're trying to adjust the height. Now you can adjust the height on the front. You can sometimes get at the front wheel and turn it up or turn it down to adjust it to be level. You can't get at the back wheel.
Mm.
It's buried.
You know it's gonna happen. Something's
And I ended up on the one door at my buddy's house.
Stop
I had
it.
to
Don't put it out there.
I had to take the whole I had to take a bunch of the trim off in order to get the door over far enough to where I could take it off and fix a bunch of
Oof.
shit on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because ours kept falling off the track.
Yeah.
It was- Boom.
Did you hear me why I was offended today?
He was offended.
Because you go in
Casey
and there
Hogan
will
didn't
be
say
a
your
time.
name?
Oh no, you go. There will be a time where they stop doing your height. It's because, like 2 times ago, I went, "What the fuck are you telling me, Dr. Atasi, that I'm 5'9"? I've always been 5'10". He goes, "No, you're 5'9". I go, "Why am I 5'9"? He goes, "Because you're getting fucking older. You're getting old, man." So now they don't even fucking measure me because they don't want to hear my fuck words out of my fucking mouth about why the fuck they
oh my
mismeasured me.
goodness
All right,
gracious.
cop.
It'll hurt you.
Yeah.
It'll hurt
just
deep, man.
Getting
We all
fuzzy.
drank
Getting a little
it,
fuzzy.
yeah.
I know. I'm
do.
trying to fix
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You
I think I
definitely.
fixed it.
You get it?
Casey must
Think
be
so,
like 100
yes.
years old.
There.
That's why you have that pack, Kelly, because you are
That's
the
right.
least fuzzy,
Well,
but it's still
apparently
a
it
fuzzy.
doesn't like my butt. So
You have a fuzzy butt?
All right then.
Is that what you-
yeah, I had it sitting in the chair next to my hip. And
Fuzzy butt.
I'm a fuzzy butt.
All right, let's get into it.
That's a British cuss word. Fuzzy butt?
A fuzzy butt. Let's get into this. Trump came to visit
Yes, he did.
here in Howell.
Nice.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I got several
You gonna put
reports
something
from
up?
the ground.
What do you do?
Mhm.
Who's the
Uh,
moron that asked that stupid question?
We're gonna
Oh.
tackle that. We're gonna tackle that.
God.
What a dumb question.
Yeah, let's do this first.
Go ahead.
I know Mark, a good friend of the show. He's been on in years past. He traveled down there, was desiring my company. I had to be on the job site. So, but Mr. Coffee made his way down there. Would you like to give us a little bit of a recap? there?
We went and got off at Tanger and happened to be driving by, and we saw one of the big fans of the show. She's usually on here. Lori was there. We waved to Lori, and I'm laying on the horn, and people, and we're like, and went home, and the queen said, she wanted to go back and sit with Lori, so we got her a chair, went back, and we're laying on the horn, and I drove through all the way to
You talking about my sissy?
Huh?
No.
Lori, different Lori.
Oh,
So
he can't say her screen name. He
Oh.
can't expose
So,
her to the leftards.
that's fine.
I drove through 6 times in like 2.5 hours, starting at like 12:30 or whatever before he arrived.
Yeah.
And the crowd was getting bigger and bigger. And one time I finally got stopped right at the sheriff's department, 2 cars back from all the crowds. I got out of the car and I'm yelling, USA, USA, fight, fight, fight. The crowd started, USA, USA. And they're just all friendly and all clean. And they're not short and fat and nasty. It looks like they were rolled in dirt and thrown on a fucking courthouse lawn with a mop on their fucking head.
Wow.
It was great.
Yeah.
Clean.
Wow.
And the kids. And this is another bullshit. That intersection was only closed down 15 minutes. I got 4 grandkids in that school. School wasn't interrupted. Nobody missed the bus. The bus, everything went fine. And these fucking dirty ass fat little chicks around here
Oh,
are
my.
trying to say like, oh, why would they do that on the first day of school?
I apologize for the
Excuse my
derogatory nature of the.
Fuck them.
I really
And they
want to
were-
get you and my dad together. I would love
I'm
to
going to
watch you
take
guys
away
have
your
a
coffee
conversation.
before the show.
So what,
I cut back on.
he's all hopped up on Mountain Dew.
What was
I have-
the purpose of his visit to the sheriff's department here?
It was a what did he call it?
Crime and
Well, yeah, it was a news conference.
He's doing a rally in Detroit, I believe.
Yeah,
They were talking law enforcement and
I looked at it. I didn't hear that. But he wanted to meet with a bunch of the sheriffs.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, he was right. I mean, he was talking about Connie Harris's,
defund the police.
dismal record.
And he knows in this.
But she did. Yeah, I mean, you do gotta give her credit that when she was a persecutor in California, she was a far left wing persecutor, and she did put a whole lot of black men in jail for smoking pot.
Yeah.
She did do that.
Yeah.
She
And-
also made it so that certain really violent sexual attacks weren't felonies. And
Right. And,
Yeah.
yeah. She also, we got to give her credit because when BLM and Antifa were burning down Minnesota,
she bailed
she
them
was
out.
raising money to bail them out.
You know what I'm worried about, Larry? Now that she's black,
Yes.
she might go after like white dudes like me that maybe hit it once in a while.
Yeah, but you identify
And
as a
then-
gay black man.
Oh, you're right. So
You're
she
fine.
You're
definitely.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Isn't she married?
And I'm
to a
not
white
worried
man?
either
Does
because
she have
I
kids?
identify as a lesbian.
No, she has stepchildren.
Okay, so she doesn't have her.
No.
Nobody actually wanted to breed with her.
Well, you can't breed by mouth.
Or maybe she had.
You can't
Oh
breed.
my gosh.
You can't breed.
Here we
breed when you're
go.
swallowing.
Here we go.
She swallowed all her kids.
There we
I felt
go.
you're trying to say burning into my
good.
soul.
She would have a whole gaggle from Willie Brown.
I felt that. That's
Uh,
evil.
Oh my gosh, Judge Joe Brown talking about
Oh,
her
he
was
eviscerates.
amazing.
Judge Joe
Oh.
Brown eviscerates
I
her.
gotta send it to
Yeah.
you. It is
Hey,
amazing.
did
Really? Send
Willie
it.
Brown ever serve in the military?
I don't think you did.
Just a quick question. I just want to know because he would have had to have been called out. Brown Willie! Just saying.
They never said our first name.
I had listen, I had a buddy. His name was Richard Long. He went by Dick.
Uh-huh.
Of course, he did.
He went in the military. The drill sergeant comes by and he goes, Dick! Or he goes, Long Dick! Looks over and goes, you think that's funny, don't you, boy? Drop and give me 50.
You will get a name. You will get a name in the boot camp.
That's what I
You from now on be called Little Richard.
the one I love is Hacksaw Ridge. Vince Vaughn is the drill instructor, and he walks by the one guy and he's like, how long have you been dead? I will, from now on, you will be called Ghoul. Private Ghoul.
You will get a name.
That was hilarious.
It'll stick.
Yeah, it'll stick. So Trump came to visit here.
JoJo's here. Yes.
Finally, JoJo.
JoJo, we were talking about you. Rewind.
Yeah.
All right.
Shout out for your cowboy candy.
And your
So one of the things
zucchini.
Trump was just coming to, I think he was
Your
just
bread.
coming to touch base. That was the main thing he was looking at doing. But it was overshadowed by bullshit.
Oh yeah.
And so here it is. Tim's got the clip, but I'm going to pull up the article from InfoWars as well.
What cracks me up is these little dingleberries popping up all over the place with their Nazi crap. They were just in Brighton.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about
We're gonna
that.
get to
They're
that.
not
Yeah,
even
we're gonna
from
get to-
here.
No,
Well,
they're AstroTurf.
They're AstroTurf. They're not real.
They're doing it on purpose.
You know, they're paid actors from, you know, and it wouldn't surprise me if Casey Hilton and her little gang
You
of
give
people.
her too much power and credit
So-
mentally. She doesn't have that much
Yeah.
clout, I promise.
Not
Let's
that
look at
well
this.
organized.
So
she's washed up.
Trump destroys bad faith reporter who asked him why he's visiting a town tied to white supremacy. I'm going to say this first and foremost.
Oh my God.
I love
Howell is
that
not
smile.
tied to white supremacy, other than in the media's mind and leftist minds.
Right.
Okay. I lived here for 5 years before I ever heard anything about a dude who lived in Cohocton
Mm-hmm.
being in the KKK.
Robert Miles.
Do you
I'm going to pull it up.
Do you know the Southern Poverty Law Center has proven that Livingston County, and these guys hate white supremacy, has not had a KKK present or anything in Livingston County
For
in
50.
like 30 years.
That's right.
like-
Since the 60s.
30 years.
I
And
Yeah, it's like
those
this-
people, they'll call me
They were
racist.
Democrats,
Yep.
and they came here. All right. First off,
Well, we just went
Robert
right to
Miles lived in Cohocton, and that's where he's buried. Right? He was a registered Democrat, not a Republican, never a Republican. He was
supported George Wallace.
He was supported George Wallace.
Yeah.
He didn't
Which a
just
side note-
support. He did not just support George Wallace. He was his campaign manager.
right. You're right.
Oh,
yes,
wow.
you are.
He was his campaign manager.
right.
And a side note on George Wallace at the end of his life changed his heart and mind and actually met with a bunch of black leaders and became as far as I know, became a believer, but he definitely changed his heart and mind and rejected all of the
Became a
racist shit that he put out for so many years.
Civil rights
Do you
advocate.
guys
I don't know if he
remember-
became an advocate, but he definitely stopped anything and actually met many times with black leadership and became at least an ally. I don't know if he necessarily, because by that time he was in the wheelchair because he got shot when he was
Oh, that's right,
governor
right.
running for
Well, I mean, it's a
Yeah.
sliding scale between advocacy and how much do you need to do to become an advocate?
right. Go ahead.
American History X.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's good.
That movie came out when I was pretty young.
Yeah.
And that was such a that movie, I feel like for my generation at least,
Right.
was a very big eye opener as to how we need to make change and how it can
Huge.
happen and hearts can change.
Right.
I that movie still to this day affects me. It
Yeah.
still
Oh,
upsets
absolutely.
me and makes me want to cry.
Yeah. And Ed Norton's character in that movie really changed because he saw the hypocrisy when he was in prison. And he's like, wait a minute, what am I fighting for if you guys are going back on everything? And then his partner in there who kept mocking all of it really was the catalyst for him to finally wake up and go, you know what, we're just all people,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And it was a learning thing. So anyways,
Did that film have that curb stomping scene in
Yes,
it?
it does.
That was
Okay,
so
I saw that
upsetting.
when I was 11.
Yep.
oh my God.
Yeah.
So basically this douchebag moved here, but here's the interesting thing. As Larry said, he was a Democrat. But here's the thing. He was originally from New York. Do we know any other Democrats that have moved here from other blue states and taken up positions of
Surprise, surprise.
notoriety? Do we know any other, like,
Let's
slut, how do you say it? Slutty?
Sluttigan?
Slut-
Ella.
Slotkin.
Slotkin.
Casey.
Yeah. So he was originally from New York, not a homegrown Michigander. So there you go. And he was a Grand Dragon. But here's the thing. He was eventually convicted of being involved in a bombing plot, but he had been disassociated from the KKK for some time when the bombing plot happened and was later convicted. So,
At least an hour.
Did you hear about the tar and feathering that?
hey,
that
this
he
is
did?
what this look at Larry. Look at this. The media billed it as a Klan trial, even though Miles had not been associated with the Klan for some time. Miles and 4 others were later convicted and received sentences ranging from 2 to 5 years for this incident. Miles received a 5-year sentence for bombing and concurrent 4-year sentences for tarring, feathering of a school official.
Huh.
So
That's
as much, and this is 1971. So as much as they want to say he was this big leader of the KKK, by 1971, he'd already been removed from the KKK. Former Grand Dragon.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean he became a good person.
Right.
But to act like he was, when they say,
He was freaking tarring, feathering school board people.
Exactly.
What?
but to act like
That's not
like
cool.
this guy was setting up a enclave here in Howell to be a white supremacist. Do you know the only white supremacists I've ever seen here had masks on, wearing matching uniforms?
Little dinkle butts.
A little 12 of them marching around here, and you know what? They got called out
Junior
and ran
feds.
away.
Yeah.
Junior
Yeah,
feds.
and they identified, and I think one, whatever, they weren't from here.
They're not
But
from
isn't
here.
it kind of funny? On one side,
Just like school boards where they show up and they're not from here and
Right.
represent the lefty side.
right? Even little green teeth, the nasty gnome, childless parents, fucking. Anyway, on the far left, you got 5 fucking middle-aged women drawing swastikas on trees and rainbows on sidewalks. And on the other side, the right side, you got twinky little soy boys that are probably 20 years old in black mags that aren't from here.
Right.
You know, and the rest of us would like you to fucking all die,
Stop.
or at least go away.
Go away.
Okay.
I'm,
And
I
die.
just know.
I'm curious to see. I mean, we started this off talking about Trump and how he leveled these guys. I'd like to.
Do we have that ready to go, Tim?
It's
Did you
perfect.
see it yet?
I have not.
Oh,
my
you
gosh,
gotta
it's
see it.
amazing.
It's great.
Yeah,
It's
well,
amazing.
we're gonna watch
In true
um,
Trump fashion.
War
he did.
Room's take on it.
Okay,
is
let's
what that
listen.
clip
Let's
is.
listen.
So we'll listen.
She
in,
served it up and
Just
he
let it play.
All right, let's
did a
listen to
grand
this.
slam.
Yeah.
This is Harrison Smith on the War Room today before the show started. You got it?
Yeah, we'll roll into this. Yeah.
But it's the same. It's the same thing. It's the same thing they always do. They do this. It's amazing how they're able to get this message to all of their NPCs who repeat it ad nauseum without thought. The Reuters headline: Trump to campaign in Michigan town with historic links to white extremism. White extremism. Yes, they're very mad that former President Donald Trump will visit a Michigan town on Tuesday, 1 month after white supremacists rallied there, sparking renewed criticisms from Democrats who accuse his campaign of stirring up racial tensions. Well, a month ago, some group marched in this town, so now Trump can't go to it, obviously. Obviously, by being in the same geographic location that something once happened one time, that's basically a full-throated endorsement of the KKK.
He was there.
It's basically the same thing.
He showed up at the same place.
Did something happen that one time?
Yeah, that happened that one
The
time.
town has historical links to the KKK. In the 1970s, Grand Dragon Robert Miles had Howell, I guess it's Howell is the name of this town, mailing address and held meetings on a nearby farm. Well, we should just burn it all down then. Why haven't we dropped a nuke on this place yet? 50 years ago, a member of the KKK had a mailbox there? I don't understand. How has it not been...
I have a liberal retort to this.
How have we not sown the seed, the ground with salt? How is this place still around? We can't just have places where white...
Picture, retort.
That's not true. They put a swastika on a tree 10 miles from my house on a walking trail,
Right.
and that's not true
Right.
because they had white supremacists in Brighton and Howell downtown rousing people and creating chaos. It was a whole group of white extremists. They're just assholes. That's a lie.
They're alive.
Okay.
Well,
What's the
alive and
population
well.
of Livingston County?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Well, contrast that population with 12 soy boys who showed up in white supremacist
They
garb,
weren't 12.
acting like they were.
They
Fed
weren't 12.
juniors.
There weren't 12.
No, there was like 6.
Your buddy John King in an article said there was like 12 of them. A
The
dozen.
number's going to get bigger every time.
John King in the article on X,
He was
said,
probably counting the
he didn't. I saw his article. In fact, I posted on Coffee, but he said he made it sound like an army. He didn't say, but there was like 6.
Yeah.
In fact, if you saw Soy Boy that runs a coffee shop and theater down in Brighton, and he went out and threw up on Facebook, and you watch his eyes. I'm like, are you serious, man? They're like down the sidewalk. They probably weigh 150 pounds, you know, still popping
Soaking wet.
pimples. And he's like, what's up? And his eyes are like, I'm like, are you serious, dude? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Livingston's just shy of
I don't
200K.
know.
200,000
Did you see
people,
that
and
one?
we
Did he
had
puke and then put on cat ears?
Oh my
No.
God.
so
God.
No.
just shy of 200,000 people,
Yeah,
Ella.
193.
and
Ella.
and less
Elevator?
than 12 showed up to do this.
Right. This demonstration of
This is staff reporters.
nationalistic
I was just-
pride.
Here it is.
Interjecting the ad
Here,
nauseum.
here we go.
Ella.
We can finish the clip, but while we're tapping into it, as Donald Trump, this is from July 20th.
Okay, you're making me do something I've never done before.
All right, continue the clip. That's right, because
Yeah,
if
let's-
you
yeah.
can't pause. Go ahead.
If I make it go away, it starts
Yeah.
over.
All right, finish the
People
clip.
once lived just out there in the world. This is infuriating. Trump, of course, by going to a town, clearly is condoning the fact that 50 years ago, some dude in the KKK lived there. Obviously, it's absurd. It's nonsense. It's retarded. It's stupid. It's the Democrats doing what they do best, fabricating controversy out of literally nothing.
Nothing.
Literally nothing. It's amazing. It truly is. Look at the Supreme Court and the controversy there, right?
Oh yeah, he had this caveat
A Supreme Court justice
about
flew
the
a
flag.
flag that George Washington once flew.
That one. Just
This is an
sure.
outrage, and he must be removed from the court. I mean, this is the type of stuff that they're able to just whip up out of nothing. I mean, it's nothing. It's amazing. It truly is. They got nothing on Trump. So I guess they go into the archives of a town that he's visiting. He visits 10,000 towns a year. And this one happened to have a KKK member
And that's where
living
my
there 50
argument
years
came
ago.
in.
So obviously, that means Trump's a racist, and you get to hammer him about being a racist for the next month. We can't live with these. Honestly, we can't live with these people. Enough is enough.
Just trying to figure
Trump
out
was
what
asked
these
about
shots
this.
were, if that
It's kind of
was
hard to
actually-
hear the question, but like good little NPCs, they take this random association from 50 years ago, and that's the only question they have from now on. Trump has to be hammered on this, just in case he accidentally doesn't respond perfectly. Then you can take his words out of context and act like he is endorsing the KKK. This is the childish, petulant retardation
gotcha moments
of our media. Here's them asking Trump, and Trump just slapping him in the face rhetorically.
I
Let's
love
watch.
this.
Yeah, this is great.
Thank you for coming. Campaign attacking you for being in his town because they say you're a white supremacist. You're a homophobe.
So they're being asked about white supremacists in this
I love this.
county.
Who was here in 2021? Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
That's how you handle it.
Yeah.
He
That's how you handle it.
He's like,
Yeah, watch.
Oh, you
Yeah,
did?
watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Did you
pulls
call
up
him a
more.
racist for coming to this town? You didn't? Okay. So your objections are meaningless. Your beliefs are nonsense.
And who's that?
And you can be easily
Joe Biden.
and appropriately
With who?
ignored.
With
There's Joe
With
Biden triumphantly holding up the
Robert
hand
Boyd.
of
uh-huh.
the
Robert
actual
Byrd.
leader of the KKK.
The actual
Yeah.
leader of the case.
the actual
They don't care.
yes.
They don't care. They
the
really don't.
leader
That's
Uh,
Even a
correct.
little bit.
of the
So
KKK.
And
you got to recognize
and
that.
him and Hillary Clinton both referred to Robert Byrd as their mentor
Uh-huh.
This is my
100%.
several times.
So there's a shot of the
Wow.
There's
crowd
a shot of the crowds there.
from downtown.
Mr. Coffey said that it was well over the size of the Trump-Biden rally back in 2021.
What were you
Oh, there-
pulling up here?
There's the last time I went by today was probably an hour and a half before he arrived, and I would guess, and still coming down the roads, 700 people sitting in chairs, waving flags. And everything.
Okay.
700. That's not counting
So
the
far
kids.
more
Not-
than
that
the
wasn't
rally,
counting
the
the
Biden
racist
rally.
kids
Right.
that were walking with their parents from school and stuff. To
I mean,
see.
the normal people,
Racist, all of them.
because they're normal,
Well, they're racist.
Because they live in
because
this
they
town.
So-
because they don't suck off the tea to the Democrat
Now,
Party.
I didn't realize this until you put this headline up there.
Yeah.
Trump was rallying in Grand Rapids while these actors
Yeah.
were rallying in Howell.
And the
Oh,
day
correct.
and the day before he comes to Howell, they're in Brighton rallying.
Yeah.
It's,
Yes.
it's a thing. They're
That's
building
it's
a
a
narrative.
whole setup.
That's what it is.
It's a whole
They
setup.
built their narrative.
They've tried to imprison him.
Right.
They tried to impeach him. They tried to kill him. Now we're gonna do everything we can to
You know what? It just made me
denigrate
think
because
of-
they know the black vote's going to.
Hey, remember
the Judaizers that followed Paul everywhere?
Yeah.
Yeah. For those who don't know, there was the whole doctrine of Christianity when being sent to the Gentile nations by Paul. He was the apostle to the Gentiles. Literally within a week or the next month, there were Jewish believers who weren't really actually Messiah converted for Jesus, but were that were trying to follow right along, trying to imply that the law of Moses and everything that was in the law, you still got to cut your dick
Oh, they
off.
tried to stir it up.
You still have to get circumcised. You still have to wash your hands 5 times. You still have to do this. And that's like the inversion of what's happening to Trump.
So-
So they're sending groups ahead of him to taint the stomping
narrative.
grounds. Yeah.
So look at this. This is from July 20th, and just as Kelly said, I believe this is completely astroturf, completely staged to try to do this because
Look at how
you
Burger
guys-
King hat's standing.
Dude.
Come on.
Did you see that?
as Donald Trump prepared to take the stage in Grand Rapids. Remember, this is July 20th. Today is the 20th, so we're a month ago. They're trying to create this narrative. His first rally since his assassination attempt in Pennsylvania, white supremacists, some of who voiced support for the former president. Yeah, well, who was that one?
Because
David
they're
Dukes?
paid to.
Who was David? David Dukes. They used to pay him to endorse. The FBI and CIA would pay him to endorse different candidates just because it would shame them.
Yeah.
And don't get me started on campaign finance. You want to ruin somebody's campaign? Get a compromised douchebag to give you money and you not realize it because a whole bunch of money's flowing in and your accountant doesn't flag it. Well, you accepted money from so-and-so. You must be in their pocket. You must be controlled.
Well, the police of Howell on these fuckers identified them all, and they weren't from Livingston County, but I guess one 22-year-old who has a robbery charge lived in Fowlerville, I guess, or whatever. He's probably staying with his mom. He's 22 years old. And like Kelly said, one of them in the picture, I wish I would say to him, had a Burger King.
He's in the picture.
He's in the picture. He's right there.
Oh, he's right there.
He's right there in the
I
middle,
can't
and he's
see
got
it from that one.
he's got his phone out.
Burger King.
Yeah,
So-
look how he's
I mean,
standing.
come on.
One group chanted Heil Hitler during the march on Saturday. Now, you guys corrected me earlier, but I want you to read the sentence.
Okay.
There were about a dozen participants.
Okay. The one that was just posted by John R. King on X.
Okay.
About the Brighton one. You know, the same group that marched, you know, and making it, and there's like
And
only
there was-
four or
Okay.
5 in Brighton.
Well,
same boys.
See, what's happening is when Biden was forced out and then they tried to transfer funds to Kamala, they're having trouble transferring money. So they probably didn't have all of the cash they needed to pay for the full dozen.
You know what?
In Brighton this past weekend.
on my
You know
Reddit,
what?
2 dudes playing golf were approached by a couple men in suits and a lady in a dress, and they came up and said, "Hey, are you guys busy tonight?" And they were both like, "What the hell? No." And
swingers?
They were like, "So, we will give you $150 if you will attend the DNC this evening, but you're going to have to take these tickets, and you will get the $150 once you come." And the dudes were like, "All right, cool. A free $150. We'll go check it out." You know, and they didn't believe it was true. So they went, got in with their tickets, received their $150, ate some of the pizza and left, and said they were voting for Trump on their way out.
I love it.
Because they could not fill their seats.
Do you know how many times you get your ID check going into that?
Oh, more times than you do coming over.
You literally
the
get
border.
it checked 8 times before you get
More
in.
times than you
yeah,
do
but
going to the boat.
they're knocking holes in the fences. They're knocking the fences over.
Now they're ripping them out.
But I'm getting,
Throwing them away.
I'm getting down to
If
the
Republicans
the
do
voting.
that, they go to jail.
A wall.
Yeah.
Huh?
Did you
They
guys?
built a wall.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
that's later in the notes. We're going to get into this.
we'll go
They
to
actually
that.
built a wall
Well,
It's
I saw
3 deep now.
around Chicago.
It's 3 deep now.
I thought there was
3 walls.
dump trucks and stuff.
Yeah, I saw it before I came here. The ones that they kind of pushed down the fence, they put up like
Yeah,
two
these are
more-
terrorist sympathizers.
Now,
They are
put up
terrorist
two
sympathizers.
more layers.
They're Hamas supporters.
Yeah, I will say this, even to our leftist people, pray for. I have prayed for it multiple times. Pray for the DNC rally, the DNC convention
That they stay safe.
in Chicago.
Absolutely.
Because they would be the first ones to take out their own people and blame it on a right winger.
Of course they would.
In order to then foment a bunch of
Didn't I
shit.
just say that a couple weeks ago? I'm
Yeah.
not even sitting on
I know.
it. It's because
Just-
Patrick leaned towards it.
I know.
That goes.
I hate that pack.
My fault.
And they would jump on that so quick, just like the murder of the black gentleman last summer in Howell. And Casey and their little crowd immediately hit it. Oh, Howell, racist stuff. And then the sheriff comes out 2 days later. It was a black on black crime, and they had to go, oops, move on. Move on.
Yeah, because we don't want to cover the fact that Chicago has murders every single weekend, black on black.
119, 130 on July 4th.
Do you know
19
that?
killed.
Do you know that there are more people killed by hammers in this country than AR-15s?
Oh.
But they want to get rid of an AR-15 every time there's a gun shooting, even though most gun violence is handguns.
Right.
Oh, by
and
the
it's
way-
usually familial or gang.
By the way, it's an assault rifle, or let's see, what else
It's
do
an
they call it?
Armalite.
Oh,
no,
wait,
no,
wait,
that-
wait,
no,
wait,
no,
wait.
come on.
A
It's an
military
assault.
weapon. It is a weapon of war.
No, the AR. No. Listen, they call it an assault rifle, and what's the other one? For AR, we know it's Armalite. Well, assault rifle. What's the other one? For AR, assault rifle or automatic rifle or assault rifle, which is totally untrue. It's an Armalite.
And it's not automatic.
And
We've said it multiple times on the show.
And nobody would carry that in war.
During World War I.
Nobody.
But if anybody
During-
wants to go scuba diving, I lost all my firearms in a tragic boat accident.
Is that the same lake?
February 2 years ago?
So you painted
My-
a swastika on a tree and
my
went out on that
pontoon
lake.
boat struck an iceberg
In the middle of July.
in the middle of January. It was February.
He felt like going boating when global warming hit and
Yeah.
thawed his lake for a day.
Yeah.
But this would have been considered an assault rifle during World War I during trench warfare. You ever heard the sound of it? It sounds really nice.
Oops.
That's not the sound. But that would be cool. All right, and
Premature.
That was funny.
Nope, I only get one, man.
you only get one.
You
and
know
the
what? You
computer
know
broke.
what? He's gonna have to get the sound of a like a M1 tank main gun.
Oh,
when
yeah.
you pull the triggers.
Yeah. If we keep our buttons
Larry,
working.
Larry,
All right, let's.
it's fun. Larry, those are assault glasses now.
Oh,
They are.
have
Look at this.
assault words
Just to finish
too,
up this
so-
article
this
here.
is assault
Uh,
chocolate.
The demonstrators marched down Grand River Avenue to the lawn of the Howell Carnegie District Library before they were booted out. And what does it say right here? What's this line right here? They proceeded to their cars while being monitored by the Howell Police Department, which confirmed several of the demonstrators came from outside of the community, including Saginaw and Macomb counties. Wait a minute. If Howell and Livingston County are so racist, why do we have to have people come
Import them.
No,
from outside the county?
You're missing it, man, because we're breeding
import
so
our
many
Nazis.
and recruiting so many. They're flourishing out
okay.
to
Yeah.
roost.
Now I'm gonna tell you
But
what
the
it really
chickens
is.
have come home to roost.
Now I'll tell you what it really is. It is that Sage couldn't find anybody locally.
Oh, Larry, you're such a conspiracy theorist.
Well, Sage, the main characters, the closest one is fat little green teeth, and she lives up B19 outside of the city. There's not one Sage leader in Howell. In fact, most of the people I talk to on the left or right that know about Sage don't want any one of them near them. And in fact, I talked to, and I will not name, but I will tell you later, there's one of the politicians on the Democratic side that told me they do not want,
I've heard the same.
they do not want Sage or Casey around them.
They don't want any
They
association.
don't want any association with these sickos, because they're at least halfway. No, they aren't that crazy. They might be crazy, but
It's
the one guy I was
libtards
talking
like
to is
you
not
that
a
are
crazy
screwing
motherfucker.
up our country.
Say that one
I'll
again.
tell you who he is later.
What?
Say that one again.
It's libtards like you that are screwing up our country.
They don't want him around.
They get mad over that libtard thing. You know that?
Why?
I don't know.
Actually, it's a
'Cause it-
compliment because I call him fucking
Names. You called them names.
Real
Call them
names.
British customers.
Call them British customers.
Yeah, it's like libtard is like a form of endearment.
I think so.
So your good buddy John King.
Oh, is these the ones in Howell?
This is
John
this is,
King, formal newsman.
Oh, that's
so this is an article he
newsman
wrote on
and-
this back July 22nd. Well, it was posted July 22nd. He wrote the article earlier than that when they actually
That's
shut up.
hilarious.
So look at these guys.
those
This
are
is Soy Boy.
those are Scott ski goggles.
Dude,
so
these are hired fucking people.
no shit.
If you
They're wearing ski goggles.
Dude, it's ridiculous.
A bunch of wusses
I
not
know.
showing their faces.
Yeah.
No,
So
you don't see any right wing people with masks on.
no,
No.
no,
No.
True
Didn't
patriots do not
see
wear
one
masks.
today.
No, Antifa, Black Lives Matter, all these other fucking Democrat leftist people, they're the ones that got to hide their face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a picture of Julia
and
Hassi in
listen
front
the
of
way-
the opera. What her face is.
Listen to the way John King slants this whole thing. That reputation has lingered because of fucks like you that keep fueling it and continually fueled by incidents such as publicized actions of the Klan robe in 2005, probably put up by Democrats because Klan was started by Democrats from the beginning. Let's see here.
On John King,
I'm going to give a shout out.
King,
Yeah,
he actually, has moved on from whatever, being on the radio to a failed podcast. He's now on Michigan Advance, some online magazine.
Yeah, that's
I
where
just
this is
want
from.
to tell you, he's got like 1,000 followers on X.
Holy
That
shit.
motherfucker, how many people on X? About 1 billion or some shit?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You're smoking it, man. You are smoking
Hey, he's got to
it,
keep
dude.
trying. I'll give a shout out to Stacy Farrell. Worked at the Howell Library because Stacy's the one that chased him off. And I want to read this paragraph because Stacy said it awesomely. I parked in the lot, talked to some other folks who were just as mortified that these people had the gall to walk around promoting that hateful propaganda. Now, note, none of these fuckers were from here. None of them were from here. Okay? So when Stacy's saying this, but we all agreed that there isn't much courage required to put a mask and glasses and march around town,
Mm-hmm.
said Farrell, who added that many people were yelling at them to leave. Yes, because this is not a racist town or a racist county.
Nope.
This is a bullshit made up thing
Yep.
from one KKK asshole who moved here from New York and set up shop and tried to do it. You know what? It never caught on. It never gained any following because the people out here aren't like this.
Do you know that when Miles had a deal at our courthouse, okay, the good townspeople,
Ran him off?
Republicans, no, they did the mopping and shit on the front of the courthouse. Now, who did the fake mopping in front of the Opera House
Yeah.
last summer? Those little fat,
All right.
nasty sage girls.
Continuing to-
Mimicking what good Republicans did.
Exactly. Quote, honestly, I think they were surprised they weren't welcomed here. I think maybe the rumors of old Howell led them to believe that they could come here and do that, but they sure made a mistake. No one wanted them around, and I'm proud of all the folks that stepped up to make sure those men did not stay here. Now, this is not somebody that would necessarily be on our side of the political debate.
Stacey
Okay.
Farrell?
Yes.
I know
And
who
I've
she is.
talked to Stacy. It's and I'm but look at this. The group eventually returned to their vehicles, one of which Farrell noted was a Mercedes with a Pennsylvania license plate, while other vehicles, another vehicle had a Michigan plate. It doesn't mean they lived here. And we noted in the other article, Saginaw and Macomb, right? There were no threats, no violence. They didn't appear to have weapons, she said. They definitely look intimidating, but so does anyone dressed like that. The reality is no one carries those signs, chants that crap, dresses in tactical clothes if they're not looking for trouble. They just made a mistake coming to Howell, a mistake that I hope no one makes again, which if they went to Brighton is standing the test.
Yeah.
This community may have its flaws, but what I saw was a united front denouncing the group's violence, racism, anti-Semitic propaganda. I wanted to read that.
I
That's
would
a
stand
awesome-
right next to any of the Sage people against those dudes.
Absolutely.
I would stand 100% right next to them
Absolutely.
against those dudes.
And
I do not agree with them on most things, but I would stand with them for that.
And I'm going to tell you what. Stacy's all of her statements in that article.
100%.
I'm 100% in agreement with.
Agreed.
And that was a phenomenal stance that she took
I
against those
also
fuckers.
agree with Pinky.
What Pinky say? Let's catch up in chat.
Oh,
We need to catch up a lot in chat. Let's do that.
What is
Because
Chitty
I've seen
Chat
some
saying?
other sides of that person as well.
Well, that's fine. On this issue, you know,
I agree. No,
Yeah.
I agree.
let's catch up in that, and then we're gonna do some positive stuff on what Trump had to say. Tim's got some clips for us. We're gonna break those down. But let's catch up in chat real quick and see where we're at. Anything good? Good. Is everybody talking to each other?
Commented about your gun.
We're almost getting to the point, everybody. I love you out there, and I want to hear everything everybody has to say. But we're almost getting to the ones where we're gonna just pay attention to the donation.
To Tim.
Okay. He sent it on Discord, Tim. I don't know if we can access what Mark just sent us. Okay. We'll see what we can
Hey,
do.
don't give up names.
That screen name is Rottweiler. He's
Yeah.
a streamer.
He's one of our buddies.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's a screamer?
Streamer.
Damn, Tim.
You've got earphones in and you still can't fucking hear us.
No, he's not a screamer. He's more of a pillow biter.
Not even true.
Good.
Mark's awesome. Mark,
Nice comeback.
Mark.
Oh, you're talking.
You guys got to
dirty.
check out what's Mark's Rune
Forge Gaming.
Rune Forge Gaming on
What is
Twitch.
that?
Can we post that in the chat?
Rune Forge Gaming on Twitch.
Let's try to post that in the chat. If you guys are into gaming at all, Mark
He
has
does
won multiple.
Warhammer art.
He has won multiple. He prints them out, 3D
Miniatures.
prints them out,
Yep.
and then does his own podcast where he paints them
What?
live.
Paints what?
Miniature
the
battle.
miniature battle guys.
Oh, cool.
And he's won multiple awards and multiple contests
No
throughout the
shit.
state doing his painting. He's phenomenal,
You gotta have a steady hand for that.
dude. He's and you're
Well, he's a pillow biter.
that's not
No, he's a brush. He's a brush licker.
see both of you are defaming
got
our
good
buddy
comeback,
and
brush
it's
licker.
not it's not.
Yeah.
Tim started
He's
it.
a peat eater.
Pain eater.
So Trump showed up here in Howell. They had a problem with the fact that it's Howell. They tried to turn this into something it's not. He came here to talk about the violence. There's some inside baseball that we have amongst members of the show that we're not at liberty to share yet. But there is an underground crime element within our county that is, let's just say, exerting some undue influence. Is that a good way to say it? Until I'm at liberty to share what we know here. And you guys know a lot of times I don't try to do that as a thrill thing. I'm about the conversation every time we get on the show. But we do get information from people that we know and people that want to share things with the show.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not always at liberty to share that. But I do want people to know we know of a bunch of shit going on in our county. And it's having actual repercussions that you're not quite seeing properly.
We have a
But
couple things happening over by our neighborhood, the
Yeah.
two neighborhoods around us in our neighborhood.
yeah, there is a pretty heavy duty criminal element making severe inroads into our county on purpose because that's what they want to do. They want to come into the reddest areas and try to disrupt. Anyways, we'll get into that more as we're allowed to. But suffice it to say, one of the reasons that they want to tarnish Trump's visit here is to continue to denigrate the largest Republican stronghold in the state of Michigan. And along with the infighting that I've personally seen and the bad press that we get, it is not a good look. And only coming together and being led by the Spirit are we going to get that figured out. Ideas do not unite. Only the Spirit of God. That's scriptural. You can look that up. Anyways, Trump comes here. He destroys this idiot, talking about who came here in 2021.
Yeah, what exactly? What was the exact question? That crazy.
Tim, do we have?
It was
Tim
on the screen.
pulled the transcript of it.
She
Yeah,
was
it
asking
is.
why he picked
Here it
this
is.
town.
Can you respond to the Kamala Harris campaign attacking you for being in this town
This is good.
because they say there were white supremacists here a month ago,
This is good.
and they all booed and jeered her and said you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And then Trump said calmly, "Who was here in 2021?" Oh, Joe Biden.
And she answered Joe Biden. Yep.
The reporter Joe Biden. Ha ha ha. Thank you.
And walked away.
So why are you here? Why was he here in 2021 and why are you here as a reporter?
Mhm.
if you're here somehow in the city, as Harrison Smith said on the War Room tonight, don't you magically, automatically absorb all of the negative vibes and have a hood passed out to you?
Could you imagine if Kamala Harris decided to come here?
Well, I can say
She would arrest the minority black population and I'll put them in jail because she can just write a.
The campaign of joy is also something that the Nazis did back in Germany. The campaign of joy, just saying it's kind of from the biggest slave owner in her area. Her
Well,
parents
didn't
are
Kamala
came
Harris,
from.
isn't she famous for saying that she had a pen?
Yeah.
And she had all that power and that she could, at the stroke of a pen,
Just fuck
make
with people.
somebody spend thousands of dollars in attorney's fees,
Yes.
take time off work, go to
Yes.
court. Yeah.
And
She
then
could
2
say
weeks
that,
later,
and
she
then
just
2 weeks later,
said-
she could dismiss the case.
Dismiss the case.
After you spend thousands of dollars.
But she screwed with you.
Yeah. After she caused you to spend your savings
You know-
retaining an attorney.
Another thing that the Hitler and the Nazis did, they kept shouting and touting democracy, democracy,
I'm
democracy,
getting sick of that word.
while they took away the guns and suppressed the people and vilified certain elements of the population and then just took over.
Well, everybody seems to forget through the world history on exactly who Hitler captured first.
The Germans.
Who was Hitler's first victims? Who were the first people? Who were the most dangerous people that Hitler felt that he had to get rid of first before he even captured or killed the first Jew?
The Germans.
No, he had to go after. He had to go after the right-wing Christians that
I was just
rejected
gonna say
Oh,
Christians,
that
yeah.
he-
his
that-
own people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Exactly.
not his own people. Well, the people of his
Technically,
country.
yeah.
Yeah.
The people of his country, but there was the right-wing
There was the
Christians,
black
the,
church.
people of our like us rejected the National Socialism.
Mhm.
Right? So he
It was the
actually
black
went around,
shirts.
he killed them first.
The Black Shirts was the group that was backed by the conservative Christian church at that time.
Yeah,
Like the
the
black
first
robe.
mass graves of Hitler's reign of terror.
Hitler was the brown shirt, was the night of a
Right.
thousand knives.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That the first mass graves were filled with Christians.
Absolutely.
His political
And that-
enemies.
And the thing is, he got elected, and so many people like that. Oh, Hitler, right wing. The right wing was. I'm like, he was
killed
the
them all.
National Socialist. What part of socialist has ever been right wing? That's
Nothing.
left wing. Socialist communism. That's the right wing.
Well,
They're
yeah,
left
but
wing,
Democrats
always.
like to pretend that there's a difference between a communist, a Nazi, a fascist, a Marxist, or socialist. They're all
They're just
they're-
different degrees of psychopath.
It's like saying, oh, that's all different flavors of wine.
Exactly.
So you got
Still
you
wine.
got red wine,
Yep.
you got white wine, you got ice wine, you got sweet wine, you got dry wine. Well, that's all you're talking about when you're talking about all these totalitarian ideologies, whether it's Nazism or it's fascism or it's socialism, Marxism, whatever the flavor is.
Yeah.
It is all the opposite of freedom and liberty.
Absolutely.
It is all big government. It is where government has the authority over the people.
And so, as Kelly said, the Joy campaign.
Mhm.
Let's think about this. Hitler was elected, but he was elected to a minor position,
Mhm.
and then somehow ousted an old man, the Kaiser, got the Kaiser to step down,
Mhm.
and then took over unelectedly, and then suspended all the votes after that.
And then
Kind of like Kamala Harris.
What?
She hasn't been voted
it's
in.
called the
That
same
yet.
playbook. They don't have a new one. They're not
That seems
original enough
eerily
for a new
familiar.
script.
Well, if you want to go to most recent history, you could, if you any of you that little short dirty things can read, you could look at
You're
Venice.
fixated.
You could well, that's because they're the dirtiest people in this county trying to divide us regular people, whatever
Yeah.
side we're on. But Venezuela was the fourth richest country
Yes.
in the world.
Until they ran out of
They-
other people's
they-
money.
They had more money than like Canada, Japan. They named them off on plaques somewhere, but you can look it up. Don't. I could probably show it to you and you wouldn't believe it. And even when you looked it up, you wouldn't believe it. And then they went down your little road that you're typing right now, and look where they're at. They're
Socialist.
26th. They're 26th or something in economy.
They
And got-
liquidated their zoos to eat the animals.
They ate their own freaking animals. They're paying hundreds of dollars for toilet paper. Whatever.
And-
Just
and-
go do your history.
and-
Don't believe me.
Yeah, and
know.
realize that Venezuela Now this is taking into account we have not tapped into all of our oil here in America.
God.
But Venezuela has more oil than any other country that has been tapped.
And-
Once we tap all of our oil under Trump,
Then we have more.
then we have more than the rest of the world
than the rest
combined.
of the
Right.
world.
But they have more than any other individual country, including Saudi Arabia. And if you look at the size of Venezuela, it's not that big. There's no reason other than corruption that country should be
And just-
in the state that it's in.
Right. And they're emptying out prisons because it takes money. In fact, when I worked for a year and a half as a prison guard way back when I was a young, strong man, it was like $40,000 a year to feed and house these people in Washington State. So they're emptying out in Venezuela their insane asylums and prisons, saves them
shipping them
money, and shipping them, and they're coming to a neighborhood near you.
Yes.
And bring them in because Whitmer will pay you $500.
Exactly.
And I
All
don't
right.
see any fuckers do it.
We're going to go to break. When we come back, we're going to break down some of.
Who said anything about a break?
Oh,
Yeah,
no break.
Tim, get him square. Let's go a little.
No, but
longer.
here's the
Oh, Tim didn't have a break.
here's the Room Forge work done by our buddy
Mark Rottweiler.
Rottweiler. He
give me-
does this kind of.
Can you give us the on our confidence monitor? Can you give me a program out?
How do you mean?
It's right next to your other button.
You mean this?
Yeah, thank you. So see down there.
Well,
where
I
he's
was gonna
doing this-
actually go ahead and do.
Oh, Max side. Max. Yeah. Oh, it disappeared.
Oh shoot!
Where'd it go?
Oh
It
shoot! I
disappeared.
took it off the screen.
There you go.
So his right now he's doing a metal wash on one of the mech warriors that are in this post-apocalyptic tabletop battle warrior game kind of thing.
And there's his logo. Room
He's
Forge.
done everything from dragons and different kind of fantasy stuff too. But his artistry on getting just plastic to look like materials.
It's phenomenal.
Eventually he'll do like the base to make it look like terrain as well. And then this game, Warhammer, is what it's called. It's a very
Extremely popular.
It's an adult hobby.
Yeah.
You could spend thousands of dollars on an army that you use to take into battle. Thousands and thousands.
And then the communities come together and they have these tournaments and these guys
it's
are
a very
yeah.
It's a very military strategy game that it used to be playing. Reenacting battles from the actual. So
shout out to our buddy.
So yeah,
he was there at the rally today.
Rune Forge Gaming on Twitch.
All right, so let's do this, Tim. Let's go to the video that you
let's
put
shoot
together
through
and
the-
break
I got
that down.
2 10-minute videos of Trump's talk. I was hoping the energy level is going to be a little higher. That's my only criticism.
That's my only criticism of Trump today too. The speech was solid, point by point, but the energy level I felt was a little low. But then again, you take into account it's in a closed room at the sheriff's department. So it's not a
I think
huge
it was their parking garage.
20. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
it seemed like. It's not a huge 20, 30, 40,000 people convention center where the energy from the room just beefs you up.
Yeah.
It was just the media in the room, and you should have seen chat just kind of blowing up about, look at the size of the crowd, blah blah blah. There's a bunch of stupid
Oh, yeah.
haters in there. It was
Yeah.
dumb as shit.
It's like
But, let's roll the first one, and we'll get into a couple points.
is this the
first one? He talked for over almost an hour.
yes? So look at this. Here's the crowd that Coffee was talking about, between 500 and 700 people.
At least.
Just lining the road. Much bigger than when Biden came, and the other
Well,
than 12 people.
the
it was-
estimates when Biden came, I think, was 2,800.
What, how many for him though? Down at the Union Shop.
No, yeah.
For him.
No,
Not-
when we were on the corners.
Wait.
Wait, what?
Hold on. I think
You find him?
no. I think that girl is CGI. She's distorted. No, that's not a real girl. That's
Okay.
obviously CGI into the crowd.
Okay.
Obviously.
So
they're
some
not-
AI we
they're
got some
trying to
AI
make the
fake
crowd
people.
look bigger.
Like that
Oh, okay.
plane.
Obviously, that's not.
Yeah.
Nope, she's all
Yeah.
distorted.
Oy.
That's not camera blur from it moving fast in the
That's
vehicle.
where there's no houses and stuff either where they're. This is not down by the.
Yeah, and if you happen
wait,
to
wait,
recognize
wait.
yourself,
No, that's
There's the townhouses right there.
yeah, this is town.
that's not where they were at.
So this is
No,
along the route.
This is there's no. That is not part of the route.
All right, let's bring him up.
Has waged a vicious war on law enforcement in our country. They've taken away the dignity and the spirit and the life of some of these police officers, and that's why you see it. The crime is so out of control in our country. I mean, you have cities, I will say this, the top 25, almost all are run by Democrats. And they have very similar policies. It's just insane. But you can't walk across the street, you get a loaf of bread, you get shot, you get mugged, you get raped, you get whatever it may be. And you've seen it, and I've seen it. And it's time for a change. We have to bring back our cities. We have these cities that are great cities where people are afraid to live in them now. They're fleeing the cities. But mothers will no longer be losing their children because of weak liberal policies and politicians that have given up on securing a crime-free America. We want a crime-free America. We're going to stop violent crime in the United States. And it's people like this that can do the job better than anybody. They do the job justly and fairly, but there's nobody like these people. Thank you. There's nobody like them, so they can do it. They have to be given back their rights and their dignity. They have to be allowed to do their job. We're going to be guaranteeing immunities, and and I'm not looking necessarily just here, but we have police in various areas that are pretty rough areas. If they do their job, if they're diligent in doing their job, they go after the police officer rather than the criminal. They lose their house, they lose their pension, they lose their family, they lose everything. They lose everything. And we're going to make sure that doesn't happen. We want to have a good life. We want to be safe. But let's review Kamala's pro-crime, anti-police record. She repeatedly endorsed defunding the police, which I said, and it's at a level that, and it never goes away. You know, when you're a defunder or when you are even a politician, your first thought usually is the thought that you go with. If she ever had a chance, she would do whatever she could to defund the police, because that's where her spirit is, that's where her heart is. And we can't have a president like that. When I'm president of the United States, again, we will never even think about or mention the words defund the police. We'll never think about that again. It's got to be put away. It's a bad situation. It's a bad concept. The concept is so chilling and so horrible to think that. What we should be thinking about is the opposite of defunding, refunding, you call it. We'll refund, but we want to help the police. They have a very dangerous job. We'll give our law enforcement heroes the kind of protection and the resources that they so dearly deserve, and I will crack down on local Marxist DAs who refuse to enforce the law. They refuse to put murderers in jail. And you see it all over. As the district attorney of San Francisco, Kamala Harris was one of the worst and one of the first Marxist prosecutors in America. She said that, and some people said she was the godmother of both sanctuary cities, because this was a while ago. This was when it all started. And that horrible shoplifting epidemic, she shielded illegal alien crack dealers from deportation. She fought like hell to have crack dealers not deported. She came up with the concept of $950 and below. You don't even get prosecuted. $950. So guys are walking into stores with calculators to figure out, did you know that? They have calculators. They're adding it up. They want to make sure they're under 950. But it didn't matter because they didn't prosecute the ones that went over either. She ignored the pleas of victims, families, members, and refused to seek the death penalty against, as an example, an illegal alien MS-13 gang member. These are the worst gangs in the world, who murdered an innocent man and his two sons for absolutely no reason. They said, "Why did you do it?" He said, "I felt like it. I felt like it." So when Kamala, until recently, was called a Marxist prosecutor, she didn't even disclaim the title. She sort of liked it. As the California Attorney General, she redefined child sex trafficking, assault with a deadly weapon, and rape of an unconscious person as a nonviolent crime. All of them were redefined by her as nonviolent. Harris will deliver crime, chaos, destruction, and death. If she's allowed to be the president of the United States, you'll see levels of crime that you've never seen before. I will deliver law, order, safety, and peace, and I will protect those who protect us. These people protect us. These are unbelievable people. They protect us. We have to protect them. We have to give them hope because so many are leaving the forces. I can't speak for this group because I'd love to work for them. I would be joining them in 2 minutes. It looks like a nice job. They look, because they've handled themselves and crime and everything else in a stern way, and it's probably a lot easier to do. Maybe we should switch them, move them around to different territories of your state or of our nation, and let some other guys take. Would you like that, Faust? I have a feeling you don't want that. I don't want to embarrass it. I don't want to say any particular names of locations, but I can think of a big one in this state. I'd love to have them working there during the election. I can tell you, but they have it all very much under control, and that's the way it should be. So we're going to make a record investment in hiring, retention, and training of police officers. We're losing tremendous numbers of police officers. And we had a couple of instances last night where things were mentioned, so I got it. Did crime rise under Trump and fall under Biden? They said it rose under Trump and they go, no, the opposite is true. Take a look at this here. It said, is it true? Did crime rise under Trump and fall under Biden? No, comma, the opposite is true. This was a study group that went out and doesn't care. They do the numbers. And there was another one that a historical comparison of the collapse of law enforcement in U.S. cities, the drop in arrest rates over the last few years is without precedent. Lowest arrest rates we've ever seen. They don't arrest people anymore. And they shouldn't arrest people for saying the election was rigged, but they like that. They go after guys like me, but they don't go after people that kill people. It's a shame what's happened in our country, but we're going to turn it around. We're going to win big, and we're going to turn it around. We're going to turn it around fast. Thank you. Thank you. We'll bust up and dismantle the gangs, savage criminal networks, and bloodthirsty cartels, and we will stop the fentanyl, and we'll make sure that Kamala Harris has, and all of the people that she's allowed to come across the border. Don't forget, she was the border czar, whether she wants to hear it or not. She still is. You're right. Thank you. In fact, she could do it right now. You know, they like to talk. It's all nonsense. That Donald Trump stopped a bill. I was opposed to it. So was everyone else. It was the weakest bill. Under that bill, millions of people would have been allowed to come in. This was a weak bill. But you didn't need a bill. I didn't have a bill. I said, close the border. And that's how we got to those numbers, the lowest ever recorded. I said, close the border. I didn't have a bill. I didn't need a bill. She doesn't need a bill. Biden doesn't know where he is. So where is he? Whatever happened to him? He got out. He got out. He's now sunbathing. He's in a beach someplace.
Oh yeah, they got yeah.
This is my brain.
They got rid of a whole bunch of it. Are you back on?
I'm alone.
So you're alone.
No, you're not. We're always there for you, Kelly.
They're coming.
The talking points of that first, like I said, he talked for almost an hour.
Yeah.
I got about 40 minutes of it recorded and cut it down to, 2 sections. But, I have a big support. My father was in law enforcement before he had my family. So I support the cops, but I will be the first to audit tyrants.
Oh, absolutely.
100%. I love to audit a tyrant.
Just because you support the police doesn't mean that you don't hold them accountable.
Right.
In fact, they're the ones that are held to a much higher standard supposed
Should be.
supposed to be.
Should be.
Not defunded, but held to a higher standard.
Right.
So and Coffee, you were pointing this out while we took a little break here and refilled, that you've heard that Trump is being advised to kind of tone down a little bit and calm down a little bit. And so you didn't feel that he was, I listened to it live like you did.
Yeah, I was watching live 'cause I was going to tell the girls, say it's leaving now, so you'll see his motorcade.
Yeah.
Because they waited the whole time. Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Anyway.
so you didn't feel that it was low energy. You felt that it was just toned down for the room.
Can you imagine if you had to whisper for your whole podcast? What? You couldn't do it. It'd be very hard.
Oh, we've done that.
That's called ASMR.
It's very, you know.
We've done it before. Yeah.
It's hard, wasn't it?
Rubbing something.
Well,
You know?
do you know that whispering actually hurts your voice
It
more than
does.
screaming?
Yeah, your voice is really hurting me right now.
The 3 nights I was in,
But,
nights I
you
was
know,
in jail praying in tongues under my breath, I lost my voice.
Yeah.
Lost my voice for a week.
I would have just, I don't know what I would have done, but I probably would have just been out loud.
But
You already
you know,
put me.
he's, you know, he still threw up the basic Trump fuck
Oh, he did.
yous and
He
stuff,
did.
But, you know, I can see him
He
like
did.
to ease up might hurt somebody's feelings.
Yeah.
Casey.
See, that's why your mic is still muted, Larry.
That is not right. They mute the great Larry.
Because he's just saying
Because he's
people
ornery.
that are irrelevant.
I did not.
He's ornery.
Yes, you did.
You know,
Irrelevant.
Larry. Okay, let me just criticize you for production value. I gave you a fucking list of like 35
35
words.
words you could.
Umbrella, Mandela.
Mandela.
Get some fucking creative elements in
Yeah.
because, I mean, I'm down
Zambella.
with it.
Salmonella.
Salmonella. Mellow
Poor-
yellow.
Mella
Poor
Yella.
Ella.
I saw a fella who was gonna holler at, I know you could just get creative.
I wonder,
You know
I
what
wonder
you
if
do
it's-
late at night out in your yard when you bella?
Yeah.
Catman dude.
I wonder, you know, I know it
Ridiculous.
with
Because
Ella
what you're
probably
selling-
has Max and Maxim in there too. You know, like
Ugh.
serious.
All right, go back to Trump.
Oh,
Uh,
Maxella.
Maxi pads.
Speaking of this, did anybody see this awesomeness? I want to play this for you guys. I hope it plays properly. Did you see this? This is AOC, but somebody kind of messed with the facial expressions.
That looks normal to me.
Let's see what that looks like.
Dude, I love InfoWars bumpers.
Oh, they are.
That bumper combo,
The
I love
grand
those two.
order of the Marxist left left no hoax unturned on the first night of the Democratic national catastrophe.
Democrats in Congress tried to lower the cost of health care.
And when I logged on, I was like, no, this is very bad. This is much higher than we were currently paying.
Donald Trump downplayed the virus. He told us to inject bleach into our bodies.
Why do they keep
We
saying
tested
that?
bleach.
That's
we
a
tested
lie.
isopropyl alcohol on the virus, specifically in saliva or in respiratory fluids. And I can tell you that bleach will kill the virus in 5 minutes. We're also looking at other disinfectants, specifically looking at the COVID-19 virus in saliva.
But it sounds interesting to me.
Donald Trump did make history. Let's give him credit. He is one of only 2 presidents in the history of the United States to leave office with fewer Americans working than when he started.
That is one of the non-medical effects of the coronavirus, this record-breaking jump in unemployment claims. We learned today that more than 3 million Americans filed for those benefits last week.
Force people onto it.
Our Senate.
Because
COVID.
they locked the blue cities and blue states locked down the entire country.
Yes,
he worked
but
his
you
ass off to
can't
open it back up.
expect them to tell the
The
truth.
numbers became record numbers because they took people like me, shuttered our businesses, and said, "Oh, by the way, you're a gig worker. We're going to go ahead and lift permissions."
But you don't understand.
And you can now apply for unemployment that we won't respond to for 7 months.
Excuse me, ma'am.
And they were going to tax you on it, and they were going to
Excuse
sue you to get the money back.
Excuse me.
That's what they did.
Pardon me.
Assholes.
Pardon me, ma'am.
I'm sorry.
Pardon me, but
lady.
Hey, lady.
pardon me. You happen to be one of the 17 million jobs they created.
No,
No.
because I came back to work.
When you came back,
after you were
So you're a created job.
Let alone their
Yeah.
job numbers are
See,
huge
they-
because people have had to take second and
they
third jobs
actually-
just to survive.
These people actually think
No,
we're
they don't.
dumb enough to believe this.
Let's continue the
They
stupidity.
are dumb enough.
Oh, the UAW one.
Oh yeah.
Can't listen to her.
For 18 months. And what has he done for hardworking Americans?
More than you, bitch.
Nothing.
For the people who live near the derailment site, just last night, people packed a town hall meeting in search of answers about whether their air and water are safe.
This is a regulatory problem and a legal problem. So the Department of Transportation could implement regulations that would have these trains declared high hazardous.
Who's that couch fucker?
Who was that? Was that JD? He's weird. He's weird.
This is Project 2025.
I don't know what the hell it is. It's Project 25. He's involved in Project, and then they read some of the things, and they are extreme. I mean, they're seriously extreme. But I don't know anything about it. I don't want to know anything about it.
We need to beat back the dangers that Trump and his allies pose to the rule of law and our way of life.
Hillary Clinton is being forced to answer more questions about her past email practices after the FBI uncovered nearly 15,000 previously undisclosed emails and other documents.
While many seats remained empty, the Chinese assets smugly pushed America into civil war and economic ruin.
We meet in this great city tonight
Raskin, you're retard.
where Abraham Lincoln was nominated in 1860 to save the Union from fanatical insurrectionists.
A Republican, you dick.
Can you do me a
And where Franklin D. Roosevelt was renominated by Democrats in 1940 to
Doesn't mention the fact, as he talks about Lincoln, that Lincoln was the first Republican president of the Reformed Republican Party.
Right.
They're such
defeat
fucking liars.
fascist dictators.
The fascist dictator.
Now-
Oh, the fascist dictator.
The fascist dictators,
wait,
like
wait,
the
wait.
ones that weaponize the government to
So
go
FDR
after.
was there to defeat the fascist dictators, but didn't FDR imprison all of the people of Oriental descent from Japan?
Oh no.
Took away their businesses, took away their homes, took away their livelihood, put them in internment camps here in America.
I'm pretty sure we have a commissioner whose family experienced some of that.
I'm pretty sure we do.
Sure we do.
But FDR was fighting fascist dictators by
And then-
imprisoning people without cause. Oh, you're of the same descent. Your family's from there.
And don't forget,
You must be there. But he didn't do the same thing to all the Germans who were here in America.
That he adopted
Das ist nicht
to
so
run.
gut.
How about
different portions of
all the
government?
Germans that left here to go back to Germany to fight for the German army in World War II?
Was is los.
Documented that multiple people left this country to go back and fight for the German army. In fact, if you watch the movie Band of Brothers, which is based on a true memoirs, true story, they encounter one of them. The guy goes, "Oh, you're from here? Yeah, from there. What the motherland called, and I came back to fight. And you're fighting for America."
Oh, scheiße.
Oh, for
los
sure.
mit dir?
See?
Der
Wir are
Hund
not-
is- der
we are
Hund
not-
is los.
Listen, we
Der
are not,
Hund ist los in
Der
der
Hund is los.
Bundespost.
I said at the top of the show, we are not angry. We are German. Listen to Raskin's
We
stupid mouth
fight
move.
in our time to defend our freedom and our democracy against the banana Republicans who have converted Lincoln's party into a dangerous cult of personality.
And that,
You know, if I could ask that little scumbag piece of garbage right there one question, I would ask him exactly what in the Republican Party platform has changed.
Yeah.
That's all I want to know.
Yeah.
If we've converted the party,
Mhm.
what have we changed?
Hey Tim, you should get up sometime on what Larry's saying here. The charts on like the voting rights and women's rights and stuff, and what party voted 90, 100%.
Yeah, we've pulled some of those up, and they're
you should pull up the whole
yeah,
thing because
yeah.
you know they probably the
voting-
little farts on.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm the
watching.
first to admit that the Republican Party isn't perfect.
No, fuck no.
Right?
There's no
they're not
organization
even
that is.
close. All right, they're not even close to being perfect. The other party's fucking nuts.
But bring up that list sometime, Tim. All the big major laws that were for minorities, for women, for
Oh, yeah.
whatever, but through the years from the 60s on up,
Yeah.
were 100%, 98% zero on the
Right.
Democrats.
The Democrats-
for blacks, minorities, women, all sorts of people. These
Do we need to
stupid
pull up the
motherfuckers.
Do we need to pull up the clip of Biden years ago saying we've already got a nig mayor, we don't need another nig mayor? That's literally his
Yeah.
quote.
Yeah.
But he's and if you don't vote for me,
you ain't
black.
In the 2020 debates, Kamala Harris referred to him as racist multiple times.
100%.
Just saying.
And Kamala's not black. For anybody out there on the left that thinks she is,
She's Asian.
she's
Indian,
Indian, Asian, and
Jamaican.
Jamaican.
Indo-Asian.
She is not African American. In fact, she locked up more African Americans than any other prosecutor under her term, and kept them in past their original sentences so she could farm them
Free
out
labor.
for free labor. Let's continue with Dickhead.
Slavery.
Why does this look like
As humanity faces a fertility extinction crisis by 2045, the Democrats' strongest policy position argues that increasing abortions is a matter of life and death.
J.D. Vance calls pregnancy resulting from rape inconvenient. Like, inconvenience is traffic. I mean, make him go through this.
And as Ashley Biden spoke, those that knew of her diary couldn't help but superimpose it on her speech.
As a child, I would sit on the leather chair in his office doing my homework, and he would sit next to me doing his work.
And as Hunter Biden hid in the shadows backstage due to his glowing criminality, they rolled the big guy out as the crowd cheered relentlessly for a treasonous fool that traded untold U.S. secrets to foreign assets, selling out the U.S. taxpayers to build a family fortune of at least $27 million.
Women are not without electoral or political power.
This dude's got a fucking teleprompter.
That was creepy. Did you see what his eyeballs just did? That was creepy. Holy crap.
Hold on.
Just 30
I
days.
missed his eyeballs.
Just 30 days.
Watch his eyeballs.
We're not without electoral.
Try to concentrate.
Look. See what I did there?
Now watch his
Political
eyes.
power.
Political power.
In the pandemic,
I'm gonna shout
how do I
louder.
help states and cities get their schools back open?
4 million cases. Desperate to reopen schools because he thinks it will save his re-election.
We have to open the schools.
Critical shortage of PPE.
Threatening their funding.
When they don't open their schools, we're not going to fund them.
Ignoring how the virus spreads. Risking teachers and parents' lives. Going against the advice of experts.
Cringe is real.
Oh,
Yeah.
What the hell? This is what I want to get to. Are they not playing that part on this?
No, they didn't play that part.
Many years ago, I coined the term.
That's into the ad.
Okay.
So no, wait. For the first guy, is it just me, or did he look like if the Woody doll from Toy Story was a real person?
Yes.
That's what he looked like.
Yes.
The Woody was a real person.
I thought this was the Kamala or the AOC.
Oh.
What was that?
Somebody took AOC's speech.
It's a filter.
And put a filter on it.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious. So, when do you guys send it to me or no?
I didn't.
I have not seen this.
I thought I did.
Let me check over here.
I
All right,
couldn't
cut from
get
my
on it.
cut from my
Look at her
screen there,
Face,
Tim.
she's terrifying.
Yeah.
Hey, cut from my screen. I'm going to search that thing.
Are you sure it's a filter and not her
It-
mask
it-
falling off?
It is a filter. No, I guarantee it. Did you or no?
I was teasing.
Yeah.
Somebody sent it to me today.
No, but yeah, that first guy, I swear, it looked like if Woody, was actually a real person, and his voice had this weird tenor to her that was.
I think what happened
Places.
was he got caught up in his words, and then they shocked him. I think he's got one of them stimulators in his brain to put him.
Oh, you're talking about Biden's response?
Yeah, Biden.
That was a okay.
It was Mr. Graham. Is Jeff in the chat? El Jefe.
You know when you're like, say you're in the kitchen and you got a plate of shit or something, and you go to about drop it, but then you catch it last second, and you do that. Oh, look what I did! Almost did there. That's kind of the face he had. He was like completely almost gonna not finish a coherent sentence,
right?
And paused for a second when he realized he actually had the last three words, and he got to the end of it.
All right, here it is. I'm
Oh my.
gonna see if I can refresh it real quick and have it work correctly.
Wow.
That's terrifying.
So good. We can't hear her.
The guy's laughing over top of it.
Oh, I thought that was Larry.
His laugh is killing me.
Wow.
Dude,
Oh my gosh, that's terrifying. I'm gonna have nightmares.
dude, that's how simple a filter can take
Yes.
it to a reality.
Yeah.
Because that is a reality filter of who that demon really is.
Wow.
Of course, she's just an actress. Why am I being critical?
Exactly.
She's just acting out of part. Anyways, that's
she is like the
creepy bitch.
dumbest woman. I mean, she is just
Have you-
so stupid.
Have you
Took
seen?
away good blonde jokes. We had to rewrite them.
Yeah.
Have you
Well, no, there's
seen-
only 2 blonde jokes. The rest is just the truth.
That's a good one. Well, watch it. You're within striking
That's
distance.
right. She's a
Yes.
redhead.
She's a redhead.
Oh.
I heard a study was done last week.
She
Uh-huh.
she
That,
identifies as a blonde. I think.
The blonde ales actually had female
Yeah, that's
hormones in them.
scary.
And so they tested. They took 10 men and gave 10 pints of blonde ales to these 10 men, and sure enough, they started talking nonsense and couldn't drive. So
That's
it
not
must
even
be
right.
true.
It's not even right. Stereotyping.
Jesus.
Hey, you got some final thoughts, Coffee?
Hey,
you
Coffee.
taking off
No,
before we get to our?
I'm kind of my.
Yeah, he's
this
in it.
new medicine's
He's
really.
getting
It's
some
kicking in.
mojo.
It's kicking in.
He's
Hey,
got some
Coffee.
mojo.
Yeah.
Do you know why Jesus wasn't born in Poland?
Oh,
Because they couldn't find 2 wise men or a virgin.
There you
Oh,
go.
here we go. To
It was
10
it was
Polish
3
jokes.
wise
I've
men, by
got
the
some
way.
very
Oh,
nice,
yeah.
fine friends from Poland. You rude person.
Yeah, I endure those jokes because I realize I'm like, Hitler's first target in World War II was the Polish people. And you know how they did it first? It
Jokes.
was a psyop where they denigrated the Polish people and said they were stupid,
Oh yeah.
and it made it easier to conquer them.
Yeah, but I was just
The
kidding.
Slavs.
Oh, that's cool, Larry. I mean, jokes can hurt.
Yeah.
We got
Oh,
anything
geez.
in chat over
I'm gonna
here?
get
From
a shovel.
All right, we're gonna go. Let's get caught up in chat real quick.
I don't know. People are talking about Dairy Queen. I missed it because I was so.
Oh,
interested.
they're talking about Roscommon or
So-
someplace like
All right,
that.
so we saw the DNC debacle that it is. Again, pray for the DNC, pray protection over
Yeah, we
Chicago.
I watched some of this stuff where there was the women's focus conference going on today.
Yeah.
And their audio team was just
Horrendous.
screwing the pooch. They were overmodulated on their microphones, and it was terrible.
And to be sure, that is a multi-million-dollar setup, and we have
Yeah.
a moderate, 10, 12 grand into all of the equipment.
Yeah.
So, I'm wondering, is there a way we could count all the lies coming out of the DNC?
We should have a
convention?
tinger.
No.
Well,
I
you
mean,
have
do
to-
we have a computer big enough?
It'd be easier to count the truths.
Yeah, it'd be like 3.
Good point. How do people fall for this shit? I mean,
See, and the only way you could count the truths is when they say, so when Trump was president, okay, that's true. When Trump was president,
Yeah.
Trump
Yeah.
was president,
Yeah.
that's a true. And then everything after that would be the lie.
Yeah.
Right.
It's I was in
Well,
forensic debate, and it's almost like watching high school debate team. It's like, you're professionals in politics, and these arguments wouldn't stand up in my freshman debate class.
no,
No, I mean,
It's
how many
sad.
times are they going to tell the Charlottesville white supremacist
Yeah.
lie, the lie about
the truth.
Trump saying that dead soldiers were suckers and losers?
Yeah. And that is proven to be
All of
fact
it.
checked everywhere. And they
Snopes
let
has
him
even
say
come
it.
out and said
even
that
the
it's a lie.
wars
Right.
at Snopes fact
Right.
check it is
As a lie.
big news.
And they let him keep saying it.
Well, he just said
Yeah.
that.
It's like,
He's
are
the
you guys
one that
idiots?
stood up there after he said a really lame ass joke. I wouldn't even call it a joke. It was just a lame ass line, and then said, "Go ahead and clap, you dumb bastards."
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Trump's never said nothing but respect. I mean, dude, it's ridiculous.
Projection.
Projection, exactly. Confession through projection.
Has he even been on stage at the DNC?
Yeah,
That was the speech where he did the eyes thing
he was supposed to leave.
But here's the
early,
thing.
But they were running late.
They put
Well,
him
yeah,
on the
they
stage
didn't
at
put-
11:30 when
Yeah.
all of the reruns are being played, and so nobody watched him
Mm-hmm.
because they ousted him.
They
As much
did
as of a
on purpose.
douchebag we know he is and a piece of shit, they
They
still
pulled a
Well,
coup.
they did to him exactly what they tried to do to Trump.
No, what they did to Trump in the 2020 election.
and what they did to Bernie in the
Yeah.
2016 primaries with Hillary, because Bernie was going to get the delegates and win.
And they all say if you tell a lie frequently enough, it
Mhm.
becomes the truth.
That's-
They all say that.
That's Goebbels, Hitler's propaganda minister. You tell a lie long enough and loud enough, people will believe it.
You can live out your life in misery, held here.
Oh. I was going to go over a little bit of Tim Walz. I had it pulled up last week. This guy, did you guys see it last week? Did we get to it last week before the feed cut on us?
My friend
Of the paintball, of them driving down
My
the street doing the
friend-
paintball?
forwarded me a screenshot of Livingston Lantern had posted that on their Facebook page and they got fact check.
Okay.
So they read the fact check and the fact check that it wasn't Tim Walz didn't order that during lockdowns. As a matter of fact, he eased restrictions after that. He ordered it he called in the National Guard due to the heightened tensions over George Floyd, hence the curfew. And I'm like, okay, so the point that we're completely sidestepping here is a governor called in a military apparatus to shoot patrons, citizens that elected said governor to a seat with paintball guns standing on their own front porches. That's the point. That's a dictator.
Correct. I think I have this video. Let me see if it's
I had it on Mr. Coffee, and it was in a very nice
That was
neighborhood.
it.
Yep, right there. And
If you
you
pay
see-
attention, you'll hear
Yep.
the police say, get in the house. You'll hear several commands, and then you'll hear light them up. And then that's when you get the fire. We'll play it again.
Nice neighborhood.
This is
Get in your house now. Let's go. Light him up.
I'm sorry. We're watching
Go
it.
inside now. Get in the house.
On their front porch.
Shooting people on their
Get
own
in, get in,
front
get in,
porches.
get in, get in, get in.
Somebody on Mr. Coffee
Get
said,
in.
"What was the curfew?"
It's amazing that
Curfew.
nobody returned.
What were we gonna say, Mel?
I was going to say I had seen this
Curfew,
tweet.
be
Somebody had
damned.
tweeted this to me, and
You're
she's saying
right.
that this is obviously National Guard and Minneapolis police sweeping our residential street, shooting paint canisters at us on our own front porch.
That is a dictatorship. That is what dictators do.
Right.
They do not
A-
shoot civilians or citizens
Right,
on
but
their
a-
own stoops.
Right. A curfew is get off the street. That means go to your homes. They're on their homes, they're on the front porch, and they're shooting them.
Yeah, our law enforcement's smart enough not to do that
Right.
because the residents here are going
But you're not
The
living
whole
in
point
that.
is this is getting fact checked on freaking Facebook as not true when it is in fact very true. And the point is the dude's shooting people that he has no business shooting for no reason. Period.
They're only paintballs.
Your curfews are not law.
Well, it doesn't matter. You're on your front porch.
I
You're
can
not
be on
on
my
the street.
porch whenever the hell I
And
want.
they
It's
said, well,
mine.
this was when the police riot, whatever. There's nobody rioting on their street. This is a nice neighborhood. They're just sitting out on their front porch, and cops come run down shooting.
True American boys shoot each other with those paintballs.
I just want to read, and this is an actual quote from, I wanted to make her famous because this is on the sheriff's board, and this is the type of idiots we have around here. And this is, I looked up, and this is a quote from Renee Pasco. From what I understand, when I looked at her thing, she's the head of Pasco
That just
Farms
pisses
here in the
me off.
area.
I know that name.
Oh, the paintball pisses you off? Of course.
I'm just, go ahead and try to do that around here.
Uh-huh.
You get a live round return. Okay.
Some people were saying
You
that.
do
I'm
not
like,
bring
"Oh,
our
yeah."
military that we fund into our neighborhoods and shoot us on our front porch for your arbitrary bullshit.
Exactly.
You don't do that in America.
So what did
even
Renee
the
Pasco
full
say?
gear,
I'll wait till
the
it's
12 gauge shotgun with a slug would definitely knock that. That's got some serious impact. And an RM1100, I can put some serious rounds out. That shit pisses me off.
Well, that's while while he let cities burn in his state, while he was locking people down, shooting them with paintballs, and it was important for him to vote to have tampons in the boys' locker or boys' bathrooms in the schools. All right, Coffee, back to you. What were you saying up?
I just wanted to, this lady in the area, and she posted on the sheriff's board.
Mhm.
Her name is Renee Pasco.
Yep.
RENEEPASKO. Look it up on Facebook, and I believe she's the owner or operator, or whatever, of Pasco Farms here in Howell. And she said the only reason Trump, this is off the sheriff's board. I said, well, the only reason he was coming here is because of the KKK and Proud Boys connection. They are his best supporter. Those are his people. Well, thank you, Renee, for that, because I don't know, you probably just knocked out my business if I ever thought about going to a farm. But this is the type of fucking leave me alone. Is this one quieter?
Yes.
Oh,
No.
okay.
They're both loud.
But this is the type of shit that gets put up that is.
It's the dumb narrative.
And somebody will believe that because she's from Howell. No. Renee.
I call it
Take it.
pedestrian thinking. That is pedestrian thinking. It's the zombie apocalypse.
You know,
People
and-
that don't educate themselves and don't have a clue put out the most garbage. It's anal.
There you go,
leakage.
Renee.
It's the difference between education and indoctrination.
It's anal leakage.
Oh, Jeremy,
Can I-
what is it? Stupidocracy or
Idiocracy?
Idiocracy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the dumbing down of the population.
Ella.
Dude, get creative. It's fucking
We
stupid.
just went over this.
Casey,
we're gonna give you a
Hello,
list. We're gonna get the list of it. Did you guys hear this? That RFK is potentially.
I had to get it out of my hands, man. It's a
God. I need
what's
to
that
get you
called? Is that like ADHD?
fidget. Yeah, your
You
new
need a
drugs.
fidget spinner.
Your new drugs are causing you to fidget over there, and we need to get you some. We need to get you something.
Spin it so it just don't
Spin it.
click.
What the hell? Don't.
I'm a
Good
fucking
God,
mess.
you're just a mess, dude.
Oh, there it is. Come on.
Happened to this old
For
man.
the see.
You can spin it.
Oh my
and
goodness.
It won't make any noise.
If you guys
Now I
haven't
know why he wants to go home at break.
Coffee.
I know because he's starting to fidget. These are the new
toddler.
drugs kicking in. We apologize for coffee. Check the chat while you're doing something, okay? Breaking update. RFK.
Where's my gun?
RFK Jr. is set to join the Trump campaign, ensuring victory over the Democrats in November. Now, there's only one thing that I like about RFK, and that's his approach to vaccines. He's been very staunch on that. Every other platform that he has that I know of, I disagree with. But that being said, he will draw that part of the population on the Democrat side that didn't take the jabs. And but that's what's going on is there's some speculation. In fact, his VP pick said this yesterday. Yeah, it's up there. Said this yesterday that well, here it is. Confirmed.
did he
Sources
join?
inside the campaign have exclusively confirmed to Alex Jones of InfoWars that Robert Kennedy Jr. is set to formally drop out of the race and endorse President Donald Trump at an event on Friday in Los Angeles. Now, here's another thing that I want to point out about this. It is very cool.
To me, it's cool.
Who was the chick that came to the RNC that is a formerly or out there
Gabbard?
that influencer that?
Oh, that was Stella.
Oh, that was that. Yeah, she had that tattoo up on her head.
Yes.
Stella?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I don't know.
No, was it a fella?
No, it
No, it
was
was a
not,
chick.
fella. No, get the name right,
Was
and
it
Rosella?
it doesn't
Rose
rhyme
or
with
something like
Oh,
Bella.
hell. You asshole.
Rose. Was
God,
it
yeah,
Rose?
it's right over my head. man.
Something Rose.
Yeah, something
Remember
like
that? And there was a lot of people that came out.
Amber Rose.
Amber Rose. And there was a
Yeah.
lot of people that came out very critical of having Amber Rose there. And I go, okay, no matter what your stance is, if you actually listen to her speech, and I did, she really, her speech was actually in her way. We all have our own way of articulating our words and our sentiments. Was saying, I'm waking up and realizing that I've been lied to for a long time, and I'm here to support Trump.
Her dad told her. She goes, Dad, he's a racist. He goes, honey, go do your homework.
Yeah.
And she did.
And
And
she
she
came-
found out.
And she found out. And there are multiple people like that coming over to support people. They're not going to be perfect. They're going to be growing in their own life experience. And if we act like assholes to them because they don't 100% align with us, when they're growing in. Now, that doesn't mean you put them in a position of power or prominence or leadership. And I don't believe that they did that with her, with Amber Rose, with that dynamic. I believe they simply brought her up to say, I'm learning, and her story was great. Doesn't mean she's all of a sudden become a staunch right-wing conservative. It just means that she has at least seen the light enough to wake up in the morning.
Well, how can you be a Democrat, and see they roasted this guy?
Yeah.
35 days ago. Oh, God, Biden, it's all cheap fakes, deep fakes. Oh, you picking on Biden. And all of a sudden now, yeah, he's a fucking retard and we got to put Kamala in there. And she wasn't even.
Nobody liked her.
Give
Well,
a
this
kid a
guy,
shot.
Nobody liked her.
Fidget.
I got to say that I like this guy.
Yeah, RFK.
Thank you,
I
Tim.
like him. He's
Thank you.
he's a Democrat, yes, but he's very moderate. He comes from a family that's been well entrenched in the political arena for decades.
Yep.
He knows everybody.
Yep.
He knows what's going on globally.
Yep.
He's got a good mind. He's very moderate. I like him.
How's he
And
moderate?
so if he's joining with Trump, huh?
How's he moderate? He's anti-gun. He is pro-abortion. He is for open borders. Everything right down. I can think of one thing I agree with him on. One.
I think his stance on borders
And
has
that-
changed actually.
And
if
that
you
and that
listen to
is
him.
he is pro-choice on immunizations. He is anti what's the word? Forced immunization.
Anti-vax.
Yeah. So he's.
I'm drawing a
Other than that, if you look into his ideology, he's just as extreme as Kamala.
I don't think.
I don't agree with
Not
that.
at all.
Oh, absolutely.
Not even close.
Here's the difference for me, and I think this is what Patrick is saying, is his positions may be left or middle, but his rhetoric and his personality
He doesn't have a single
is not
mention in
that is not RFK is not AOC, Pelosi, Biden, Kamala in his thought processes.
Maybe not
He
in his
may be
thought process.
he may be, and I would consider him to be an old school, and I said it even before Patrick said this, is I disagree with him on most of his platforms.
Yeah.
But I agree with you 100% that he is a thinking person, and when he actually thinks about stuff, he has already modulated multiple things, not for the sake of getting elected, but because he has understood and changed. I'm not saying I endorse him in any way. In fact, with Patrick's sentiment, I agree with what Joe Rogan said, that he really likes RFK as a person and some of his positions, but
I don't think
not
he's
all
a
of it.
dirty motherfucker. He might be a little bit left or whatever.
Exactly.
He could be. He's not a dirty.
I have
red
Democrat
motherfucker.
friends that I like.
Then put him in
Right.
that category.
Right. I have Democrat friends that I like, but I wouldn't vote for him for dog catcher.
Correct. We're not saying we're voting
he's
for
in
him.
that category. There's
Correct,
nothing,
but that doesn't
there's
mean he's not
Yeah, but there's nothing about
genuine
him that's
person.
moderate.
The point
he's
is,
not a moderate.
he's removing himself possibly from the run and throwing behind somebody that you do support. That's the point. So
That's a positive.
More people listening
That's a
to
good-
him is
and-
not a bad thing.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to drop out.
Yeah, we'll
This
see.
is the rumor behind it. Patrick, did you want to continue what you're saying?
Well, I think I covered that.
Okay. All right. But that's my whole point is he's going to bring another flavor of people. There's multiple people coming out right now. I'm still a full-blown Democrat, but I'm voting for Trump because the Democrat, you got someone like this. I consider him to be not even a classical liberal. I consider him to be a classical Democrat because a lot of the positions he holds. But when I've seen the interviews with that guy, there's not a overwhelming sense of disingenuousness that I can appreciate.
Can I ask Patrick
Jesus
a
said,
question?
be either hot or cold, or I'll spit you out of my mouth. So there is some appreciation of somebody being on the wrong side, but being sincere,
Right. I
sincerely
think
wrong.
he's sincere.
Where the rest of the Democrat leadership,
Lies to your face and stabs you in the back.
they're not sincere in their beliefs.
Oh no! Look at Kamala Harris. She's
Exactly.
flip-flopped.
And
She's
that's
flip-flopped on every single
Correct.
issue. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to be tough on the border.
Correct.
Well,
And if-
where have you been for 4 years?
And
And
this-
she says on day
She
one.
hasn't been to Europe
day
either.
day one was 3.5 years ago.
Now watch if this comes to fruition and he suspends his campaign and endorses Trump, watch the amount of influence he'll have when he comes out and tries to articulate Trump's positions from his perspective. Because all the people that are supporting him, and he has a support, he had to raise the money, he had to get the signatures, he had to get all that to run, to be on the ballot as an independent, first running as a Democrat and then running as an independent. Those people are going to listen to him. And he's going to say, you know what? I may not agree with Trump on this and this and this, but I agree with him over here. That's huge.
Can I ask you guys all a question? Because I'm serious on this. And I always say, this is a stupid question. And he always schools me on that. But
there are no stupid questions, only stupid people.
Keep saying it. Right. Well, I'm a stupid person.
No, that's not true.
What always bothers me in election, especially big ones like this, they always go, they got to go, whatever side, got to go after the suburban college educated women. I'm like, is this an oxymoron or something? If they're educated and they're women are really good about their pocketbooks, what's costing at the stores, what's happening out there.
Have you ever heard of girl math?
Not anymore.
I'm like, God, who are these? Because the women that I talk to in my, maybe they're just, what is a college educated suburban woman that's having a hard time figuring out who to vote for if she got, who are these fucking women?
They're clutching their pearls and they don't like certain words and they don't like certain stances and they don't like certain voices. And if they clutch their pearls hard enough and encourage their friends well enough, they'll all change their minds because they're educated and better than you.
What do you say? What's your definition of a college educated suburban woman?
Quite literally the women you were just talking about a few minutes ago. In that horrible derogatory way you were talking about.
Those fucking bitches.
They are college educated, middle class suburban women.
I think that's what it was.
Quite literally, that's what they are.
Sorry, but
those women should be on the picture.
Did I
on the
explain
cover
it?
of every prophylactic.
You just fucked up my head because that is nasty.
They are all college educated. They are all middle class suburban women.
I'm retarded.
All of them.
It don't fucking work. The fucking bitch is up at 3 a.m. last night. I get up this morning and go, she's up till 3 a.m. and probably cleaning up vomit off the carpet at 9 before she gets back on and dogs something Larry said or you said or I said.
All right, I got two more things I want to. I got two more things that I want to do this.
Sorry.
I didn't get to cover this last week, and I want to point this out. How many of you saw the Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters?
Oh, that breaks
trial?
my heart. I did.
She was convicted, Tina Peters, and I'm going to pull this up.
She followed the law.
She followed the law, and
letter.
she kept that. Go ahead, Kelly.
This woman in Mesa County, she followed the law to the letter.
Mm-hmm.
She hired an outside. Basically, what she did was she hired a person that can audit the books for her from an outside source, and the person agreed to do it because you're allowed to do it. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to have an outside source come in and audit, like our school just did that. He said, I will do it, but you cannot use my name publicly because he knew he'd be targeted if he did it. And when that happened, she got invited to go on Frank's speech and talk about what had happened in Mesa County in the 2020 election. And her office was raided while she was on stage at Frank's speech, or right before she went on stage at Frank's speech. Now, they raided her office because they wanted the ballots to be destroyed, and she refused to destroy them. Plus, she had them audited. Plus, she copied and saved a bunch of information, which she was supposed to do because that's legally what she's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And when she was going through this trial, they accused her of everything they could possibly accuse her of. 9 of them is what they indicted her on 9 counts. She was found guilty on 7.
They're on the screen right now.
Yep. She was found guilty of 7 of those counts. The 2 accounts that she was found not guilty on, they cannot actually hear or retry in any way, shape, or form. But the other 7, once it goes to the Supreme Court, can all be disclosed. They wouldn't allow her to testify. They wouldn't allow her professionals to testify. They basically called one of the computer experts she had on and told him, you're not necessary.
Where was this at?
This is in Colorado, Mesa County, Colorado. So it's in Colorado. I mean, Colorado's turned into a cesspool.
Is it Colorado? I thought it was Arizona.
No, it's Colorado.
Okay.
This is where I'm from.
Okay.
This is my home.
So looking at this, let me read the copy real quick and we'll continue.
Not
Okay.
Mesa, Arizona. Mesa,
Okay.
Colorado.
Tina Peters has been found guilty on her most major charges brought against her for simply preserving the records on the Dominion voting machines after the 2020 election. The judge refused nearly all of her witnesses and excluded virtually all of her defenses, said law professor David Clements. First count, guilty, attempt to influence public servant. Guilty, attempting. Number 2, guilty, attempting to influence public servant. Number 3, not guilty, conspiracy to commit criminal impersonation as relates to count 4. Count 4, guilty, attempting to influence public servant.
So these public servants, can I explain what they are?
Yeah, absolutely.
They're
absolutely.
basically the clerks in her office. So it'd be like Elizabeth Hunley telling Joe Bridgman, who's right underneath her, to go and preserve these documents and to preserve this information and set it aside. So Joe goes and does that. When they arrest Hunley, they say, okay, you've got all these indictments against you. Joe, we're going to arrest you with all these indictments, but if you turn on Hunley, we'll let you go.
100%.
And those 3 people turned on her in her office.
Yeah.
They went witness for the defense or prosecuting attorney and basically screwed her.
Sold her out.
One of them was her best friend.
Yep.
The 4th count, that was her best friend.
Yeah, look at that 10th count. Failure to comply with SOS requirements.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Secretary of State there?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they threatened the workers, and the workers folded over.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes. And one of them, like she did a lot for her county. She did a lot for their wages. She did a lot. It's
Can she go
awful.
to jail for this shit?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
She's
So
been
she
on an
can-
ankle monitor for years.
she
Her
can
husband
appeal.
and her mother, I think it was, both died while she was waiting to
This
go.
is fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
It's
and
so
and this
messed
is
up.
the cost of liberty. And it hasn't hit all of us here at the table in a tangible way, but it's hit a lot of people throughout this country in tangible ways. We hosted the telethon for the electors who were charged by Nasty Nestle here in our state. They were duly impaneled alternate delegates that if the vote had not been stolen, they would have been the ones to cast their ballots in Washington. They were charged with being somehow criminally enacting when every party in every close election, both sides impanel delegates or electors
and alternate electors.
Every party does it in a close election. So this is bullshit, and this lady's life's been destroyed for this. And we need to understand that there are people that are tangibly, literally dealing with this. You know, it's not just Roger Stone, Alex Jones, Donald Trump, General Flynn,
January 6 people.
all the January 6 people that are incarcerated for 20 plus years.
Even after the Supreme Court just ruled that they're in prison for nothing right now, they're still sitting there. It's insane.
I can't wait until they come back with a when Trump is in. I can't wait till they come back with all of these, because all of these prosecutors and all these people that went after them, all the Gen 6, not only should they lose their jobs, they should be criminally persecuted, because what they've done by putting these people in jail through false pretenses, through false trials, through suppressing evidence, all this stuff is, number one, false imprisonment. It was that Article 4 or the Fourth Amendment of the Bill of Rights. False imprisonment. They have incarcerated people. One of the strongest things that you ever have going to court is the writ of habeas corpus. Produce the body.
Right to a swift and speedy trial. None of them. They've been sitting in jail for 3.5 years. Right to a speedy trial
there's been people that have committed suicide. There have been people that have died of disease while in prison going through this stuff. And that's the difference. Going back just quickly to RFK Jr., the difference between him, what I see in him, is a genuine person who's wrong on many issues. Whereas the Pelosi's, the Kamala Harris's, the Joe Bidens, the Hillary Clintons, the Barack Obamas, these are people that have no conscience, that will persecute you and put you in prison for their own political gain and try to destroy your life without a second thought. They will try to destroy you and wipe you out without hesitation, because they're so devoid of any human empathy and compassion that's how they operate. All right, last thing I wanted to point out. Kamala keeps saying this over and over again. And I don't know if I have that one pulled up, but I'm going to point this out.
Is it called being unburdened by what has been?
You know what? That joke has been so phenomenal. We're down at the job site multiple times. We're like, all right, we got to do this. We got to do that. We got to take care of this. I'm like, and I look up there and I go, but we have to unburden what has been so that we can move forward with what can be.
That's good.
Because what has been,
my brain hurts.
should be, but has not, and we can move forward now.
And the wheels on the bus go round and round.
And the wheels go round because they're spinning around. She is so. This one right here. This lady apparently breaking. Multiple police officers have come forward stating that Kamala was 100% intoxicated in this clip.
Eyes.
And she would have been charged with a DFI if she was behind a wheel. Do I even dare play this?
Yes, it's
She
hilarious.
looks like she put a suppository in her mouth.
Because when we think about the strength of our democracy,
Look at her.
you know, I think that there's a duality to the nature of democracy. When it's intact, oh, it's so strong in terms of what it does to uphold and protect individual rights and freedoms. So strong in its nature.
She looks like she just came off of a bender.
It's very fragile.
Here's what I want to do.
What the hell is she saying?
Nothing.
When
Here's what we're going to do. When you go ahead and you cup the balls and you support them, you can take one at a time.
The old
It's
droopy
okay.
balls.
Or you can grab the cock while you're cupping a ball, and you can push them up and touch them.
Oh, we just
because
went
they're good.
south fast, man. We just took a boom.
Did I sync the video perfectly?
Did you?
You must No, I just, as I'm watching her, knowing her record of how
She
she
just
got
went
where
like
she's
she just went like this too, and
Like-
bring it into my
and bring
mouth.
it into here.
Oh no! Oh no!
I apologize profusely to all of
No,
our.
that's good.
No, I don't apologize.
No, you don't,
you heard the
Never
disclaimer with me.
apologize.
Never explained.
Never explained. So here's what I wanted to point out about cackling Kamala. She keeps claiming over and over again that on day one she's going to do this. On day one she's going to do this. On day one she's going to do this.
She got a laundry list.
You're the fucking VP right now.
Well, you've been 1,300 days. Last 1,300.
All the policies you're speaking against
12
are your fucking administration's policies. And if you can boot the sitting president out of position and take over, why can't you do all the shit that you want to do? Go,
Have
Cal.
you checked out her tax idea on capital gains in the stocks?
No, I hadn't seen that.
Oh, so if you invest 100,000 into the stock market
Okay.
and get 50,000,
Right.
you get taxed 45% on that 50,000. So you're paying taxes on, even if you haven't cashed it in. So it's still sitting in the stock market.
Yep.
But you made it that year, so you're getting taxed capital
That
gains
year.
on that 50,000. But
Yep.
in January, after you're done paying those taxes, it drops down to 98,000. So you just paid tax on $50,000 you don't have, and you just lost.
Yep.
What?
They're called. What do they
That's
call
super
it?
smart.
Tim, do you
That's
remember what they
let's
call
crash
that?
the stock market.
No, but they have a specific term that it's
Unrealized gain.
Yes.
unrealized gains, and they're trying to tax them on saying, well, you earned money, but if I don't cash it in,
You don't have the money.
it's like
non-tangible.
me buying a bunch of silver or gold and put it in my safe. If silver and gold go up in value because the actual currency has been devalued, and my gold now sitting in my safe is worth more, that bitch wants to charge me taxes on the fact that my
The
gold
appreciation.
appreciated,
Yeah.
even though I haven't taken it and exchanged it.
One thing I do want to warn on, and it concerns me. It's hilarious to listen to this kind of word salad, but I've said it before. We see what can be. We see what can be.
Yeah.
Unburdened by what has been
Communism.
is a phrase. No, it's Mao Zedong. The phrase is the modified version of what he used to justify his regime motto to the killing and starving of millions in an attempt to bring about the socialist utopia in China in the 60s.
That's right. I remember that.
So the concept of, it's funny to hear her say it because it's foreign, but to understand that her speech is extremely specifically purposeful for a very dangerous outcome.
Mm-hmm.
And to teach that rhetoric. And the young generations that were used in China at that time, your teens and 20s that literally massacred, incarcerated, starved, and destroyed the nation from within of China. I've seen it depicted in an app. Actually, ironically, it was an Apple TV production.
I just watched it. Very good show.
Yeah. What was that one called? Was it the?
I
You
can't
remember the name of it?
No, I can't
Was
remember
it the
it.
third body problem or something
No,
like that?
the third.
Three.
Trying to remember the
It's
series.
something project.
The 3 Body
Yes.
Project?
Yes.
3 Body Project.
Yes.
Yes.
I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah,
Very
and,
good.
and that Chinese woman who
Yeah.
learned how to basically mess with space time.
Mhm.
She came out of that heritage and became a scientist. And it's a very reality tripping kind of.
They murdered
film.
her father
They
right in
murdered
front
her
of
father
her.
right in
Yeah.
front of her. Yeah.
Has
Anyway,
anybody ever watched?
Somebody's talking to you, Tim, on there.
I don't look at chat.
Has everybody ever watched China Cry?
No.
China Cry?
No. The whole country tried to cry at the same time.
No. It was actually put up by TBN, Trinity Broadcast.
Really?
It was years ago, and it was about a. I want to make sure I get the name right, but it was a Chinese lady who was a believer in communist China, and she prayed, and she did not want to give birth to her child in communist China. She actually escaped, but she carried her child for 11 months.
To keep.
Wow.
Because she refused to, because of the grace of God.
Yeah.
And it's a very powerful movie.
Is it real?
Yeah, it's a true. It's a 100% true story. And she had to traverse through mountains and deserts and all sorts of things to gain her freedom. And then she came here and told her story, and it's phenomenal. I believe it's called China Cry.
I could probably imagine, you know,
And my computer's locked up.
2-month-old preemie, and then a 2-month late baby.
Yeah, but they get big real fast.
Well, my sister was 11
right.
pounds 9.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
but,
he is
you know,
right.
I really don't think that Asian China lady.
I was the
big
lightest
either,
at
like a
9'2".
big
No,
girl.
typically they're small.
Out of 5 kids, I was the lightest at 9'2".
Really?
Yeah.
Little
My
tiny.
second was bigger than you.
Check the comments over here.
Yeah, somebody said to Tim.
Thank you. 3 body problem. You are
Three
right.
Three body problem. That's right.
It's I think it is an Apple TV production.
I think they
Little
just put it on
series.
on Netflix. So
You think? I don't think Apple puts stuff on Netflix.
at a certain point, Netflix gets to have stuff like
Well, then
that.
it must have not been an
that a couple
Apple.
years ago when they exploited little girls.
Tell me something,
dancing
Jeremy. I got to
like
know. When you
strippers.
cook your mushrooms, are they portobellas?
Yeah, it's random.
That is so random. Where the hell are you at?
What?
Man, I tell you what, I got to get with my doctor because what he changed me up today. I think I need to take a swim in a lake.
Just don't put them in the wrong end.
Maybe I was supposed to put them in the wrong end, you know, because I took them like that fucking fine print.
I was right.
Those cocksuckers that are college educated are doing the shit on the bottles. I could do this and get a magnifying glass out, and I still can't read it.
Oh, I know.
So angry.
Serious.
China Cry, the Nora Lamb story.
Nora Lamb.
Nora Lamb.
That's
Yeah.
right.
It was a
3-body problem.
no. This is a totally different one.
Yeah.
Somebody
China
said
Cry,
three
a true
bodies.
story. It was put out in 1990.
Yeah, I was going to say it was late 80s. So
Yeah.
It's on Netflix.
No, it was a TBN.
No, you'll have
You
to look it up.
probably
It's
find
it's
on
but it's a
Amazon.
phenomenal. I don't advocate a lot of Christian movies because they think because they're Christians and they've got a good message, they can put out shitty material. But that one's one of the ones that I really enjoyed.
Hey,
Let's do some.
coffee. When you're making pizza,
When you
what
shut,
kind of cheese do you use?
why are you doing that, Larry? Why are you distracting like that? What's
I
behind?
just wondered what kind of cheese.
No, you're being a dick. What are you doing?
He's not a dick. He's a big
Listen,
dick.
when I do my
Is-
mushrooms, my
is that-
mushrooms are Pennsylvania Dutch mushrooms from a can.
Oh, they're not mozzarella.
No, they're not mozzarella or portobello.
We're gonna have Papa Bob be here one
Yeah,
Tuesday
and
do
beat
serious.
the shit.
Oh,
Oh,
No, he's
out of
gonna
a
make
pizza
some of
dough.
those
Out of a
pizzas,
pizza
man.
dough.
We're doing the meatloaf first.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're on the hook now, Larry.
And if you can't get the
if
meatloaf,
you show up with
you
White
have to go-
Castle,
No.
somebody's
You have
gonna
to, if you
beat-
can't do the meatloaf, you're going over to what's his name, the
Grounded.
wings, and bringing
White
all
Castle's
the wings.
not even meat.
And you're paying for it.
Final thoughts. Who wants to go first?
I gotta
Coffee?
go because I got to go at 11.
You're playing with your blue ball. You should be comfortable.
Timmy, he knows how to take care of children, I think.
Mhm.
Jeez.
I know one.
My final thought. I don't know.
I'll
You know,
go.
it was a good day today, seeing all those good people down there. You know, I mean, it was really good. There's some good vibes and stuff.
And it was a
there.
beautiful day.
It was a nice day.
It was a little bit cool.
Did I miss the signature?
Yeah,
Sign it.
that's all I got. I'm quick. That's my wife. Very quick. Just gets it done.
Before the next person's final thoughts, I have a quick question because I want, after what Coffee just said about his medicine bottle.
Yeah.
Did you know that when on your check, when you have your check, the line that you sign actually says something?
On my checkbook.
On your checkbook, when you sign your name on your check, that line actually says something. It's not a line.
Oh gosh, right.
I'm going to show you. It says,
I'm gonna check mine.
It
See, I do
says-
this stuff and we'll go check.
it says authorized signature line. That is literally what it says. It's words.
Nice.
Authorized signature
So the
line.
line is not a line. It's
It's words.
Yeah. Give me a signature there, Kelly, while we're on the.
Okay. I just
overhead.
wanted him to see that.
Patrick, give me your final thought
See
while she's
this?
signing.
I'm gonna check.
You're going to check it.
My final thought. I became a little enraged by the video of the police officers, National Guard, whatever, shooting at folks. And I said that would never happen here. Well, there's a real good reason why that would never happen here. And that is that the sheriff in this town, like the sheriff up in Genesee County, like the sheriff out in Kent County, would stand up against it and would not allow it. The sheriff here told Gretchen Whitmer, I'm not going to enforce these draconian bullshit rules that you're passing down. It's not happening here. I'm not going to put my deputies at risk doing this, period. Chris, the sheriff up in Genesee County, there was a bit of a standoff. There was a veteran who was a barber, and he refused to shut down. Gretchen Whitmer sent the state police there to confront him. He had the militia outside, and there was a big standoff between the two. Chris showed up, said to the state police, this is my turf. I'll handle this. You guys go home. Get out of here. As soon as they left, he turned around to the militia and said, can a man get a haircut here? Okay. Why am I saying this? Because I have said this many times. It is extremely important to get involved. Get involved, especially in your local politics, because your local politics will make a huge, huge, huge difference. You control your local municipality. If you get the right people in play that have your mindset, that are going to do things the way you want it done, you can have control. Even though the state of Michigan says, and even though the federal government might say, you have control over your municipality. The three areas, the three counties I talked about, have all said that they're going to be Second Amendment sanctuary counties.
Nice.
Should something happen.
You know who's really pissed off that nobody is running against Murphy? Oh. Casey.
Aw. Maybe she should.
She's totally pissed off that nobody would man up and run against him.
That's because he's awesome. And,
Yeah, he
he,
is.
I mean, the only other sheriff that I've seen in the state of Michigan that I would say
Darleaf.
is Darleaf. The
Yeah.
only other sheriff
see
that
that.
I would, he's down.
He's a warrior.
Berry County.
County.
Yeah.
He's the only other sheriff that I've seen that
it's down there.
surpasses Murphy.
Really?
Oh,
so
yeah.
the top, we've got one of the top two sheriffs in the state. And I'll tell you this, I only default it to Darleaf being a little bit ahead of him because Darleaf's had to face some things that Murphy didn't have to face.
Darleaf turned in the fact that the Serbians were involved in the 2020 election.
Yeah.
He has affidavits. He has all the documentation. He turned it over to the feds a year ago.
And Darleaf
That was a mistake.
witnessed that
He's
there.
targeted.
Well, Darleaf witnessed that there, but Murphy, we didn't have that type of malfeasance. If it had been, I believe Murphy would have stepped up too. So the only reason I point out Darleaf is because he had to face that stuff, whereas Murphy's in the reddest county in the state. So, but he's still phenomenal. I endorse him 100%. Anytime we want clarification on stuff, the DA, the sheriff's department, both have readily said, what do you need to know? And have clarified stuff for us. Awesome stuff.
We actually have great law enforcement in this county. I love the Brighton Police Department. I've not met one yet. That has been rude or disrespectful. I love those guys.
Yeah, we got a good job on this.
Much respect.
Respect.
That was my point.
Okay.
You get involved and get, folks elected locally that will support what you want supported.
Yeah, 100%.
So that this kind of draconian shit doesn't happen.
Yeah, this is that is ridiculous. But when you open up your whole state to Somali immigrants and they take over portions of it and elect some retard in a hijab to go to Congress who then says, and some people did something in reference to 9/11. No, that's
she flat out on camera on TV hailed her allegiance to Somalia.
Exactly.
The country she's supposed
she's a plant,
fled.
just like Rashid had Tlaib and the other squad members.
Aren't they gone? Isn't Tlaib out?
No.
Well, she was. They got rid of the one chick.
They got rid of that rabid liberal black lady. What was her name? Presley. They got rid of her.
They got rid of one or two of the squads.
Another guy.
The black guy that pulled the alarm.
The black guy that pulled the alarm.
Yeah, he needs to go to jail.
Yeah.
Kelly, final thought.
Final thought. Get to know your candidates. Please pay attention to their social media. Pay attention to what happenings they have coming around. I'm going to be holding a coffee hour on Facebook Live, hopefully in the next week or so, for people that would like to come ask me questions.
Week or so. The state convention is Saturday.
I'll give a specific. Well, I'm running for school board in my town, so I was going to do a Facebook Live coffee hour. What does that have to do with Saturday?
Well, they're going to be, the delegates are going to be voting on a lot of candidates.
Okay, I'm talking about in your general election close to home and candidates as a whole. We're voting on in the state convention judges and
there's judges that are being voted on.
Judges,
and so constituents don't really have a say. That's a delegate vote, not a constituency vote. So I'm talking about constituency for their local elections. Flip the page, check out your back of your page, look at who's running 100%. For your library board, look at who's running for trustee, look at who's running for school board. I actually just had a meeting last night with some pretty freaking amazing school board candidates for Brighton, and I'm very excited to be working with them moving forward. So
awesome.
We're getting our ducks in a row, and I'm going to be holding a coffee hour after state convention to discuss Brighton School Board and any questions that people might have. And we're going to stick to one topic at a time when I do it, but I'm hoping to do it weekly. So
awesome.
Also, I have a quick question. If I wanted to have a live stream of an interview process of school board members, because I declined to participate in the interview process because of contracts, would anybody be interested in watching and filming that and also commentating on it?
You mean would
adding commentary to it?
We here be interested in supporting you?
Well, just live streaming their live stream.
Hell yeah.
And making comments on the questions
and
the answers.
Fun.
And
sounds like a lot of fun.
Kind of doing our own little thing.
Heartland Fellowship Media Group needs to have a production meeting.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Because I'll tell you what,
on my page.
The DNC has dismal coverage, but all of the conservatives that are covering it and doing commentary and poking fun at it are getting multi-millions of views because that's actually funny.
Yes. Yeah, it's true. So that is my thought. Get to know who's on the back of your ballot.
Yeah.
Get to know who's on the back of your ballot and actually meet the people.
Yeah.
Look into their financing, look into their backgrounds.
Yeah.
Look into their voting records. it's important.
Larry.
Well, I would like to start off by congratulating the conservative board members in Heartland. That would be Angela Yarber. That would be Tiffany Baird. And that would be, I think it's
Scott.
Jeff
Scott.
Jeff
Yep.
Scott.
Yep.
They got invited to Metro Airport today to meet Donald Trump.
Whoa.
So all three of them got to meet President Trump.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you who wasn't there. Tucker, Campbell, and Shaw. They did not get invited.
That lawyer
Do you
firm.
think they would have
No,
gone?
no.
The
The
law
ones that
firm
are
of Tucker,
endorsed
Campbell,
by
and Shaw.
Sage, you know, that LGBTQ cult group, they're endorsed by unions and leftist teachers.
Wait.
But they're not endorsed by any conservative anywhere.
You took your mic off, Coffee.
Wait.
You're telling me that Donald Trump hates short fucking dwarf
Oh,
women
God.
that
You said hate. He just dislikes them enough to not invite them.
that don't stand for the national anthem.
Oh,
As sung by fifth graders?
you're projecting.
I'm just wondering, is Trump a hater of
Not
a
a hate.
short little
Hate's
mushroom looking?
a strong word.
Trump knows about it.
Dislike retards is better terminology.
Oh, geez.
I just wonder what that is.
All right.
That's really.
But congratulations to
That's cool.
to Yarber and
Yeah.
Baird and
It's pretty awesome.
Scott and meeting Donald Trump today. I know that they were all elated. They're all very happy. And they got to go down there with Jason Wolford,
Okay.
who went to greet the president as he got off his plane.
Awesome.
So congratulations.
Did the Howell
to
Mayor
that.
go? With
Huh?
his trans flag? Did he hang
Stop.
from his house?
I'm trying to do final thoughts. Such a.
Ella.
Yeah. Thank
Oh,
you.
geez.
Listen, guys.
It's like hurting cats.
Again, pray for President Trump. Pray safety over him. Speak protection over him. It's simple. When you think of him, when he pops in your mind, say, "Lord, protect my president. Protect President Trump." When you think of the DNC and what they're doing over there in Chicago, speak protection over there. Cancel the devil's assignments. Just simple. When you think of the DNC, you go, "Lord, I cancel any demonic assignments over there. I speak protection over it." Why? Because we don't want them to use anything like saying a white supremacist Republican came in and blew things up. Because, every time they do a false flag, you know what a false flag is?
Yeah, when you call a white supremacist a Republican a white supremacist, that's
Yeah.
a false flag because white supremacists were
Yeah.
Democrats.
Yeah. They used to, what they would do is they would have ships, and a ship would come upon another ship, and they would raise the flag of the ship that they wanted to board and take over, and they would raise the flag of that ship. So they looked like they were all on the same team until they got right up to them, and then they would go, "We're actually pirates."
That's interesting.
Yeah. Just look up a little thing called the Oklahoma City bombing and realize that saved Clinton's whole presidency. And there was a little guy, what was his name? Mayorkas, who's the head of the DOJ right now. They tried to get him in as a Supreme Court justice. He was in charge of the prosecution of Hillary Clinton, and mysteriously, all of those files were in Oklahoma City in that Murrah building when it got blown up. And the case mysteriously just dropped away because, terrorists. And then tell me the first time you've ever seen a truck bomb in front of a building
Las Vegas.
take out 2/3 of a building.
Oh, you mean
They want to call us
That was a
domestic
poop bomb.
terrorists.
Christmas Eve.
That-
AT&T, downtown Tennessee, Nashville.
Yeah.
That was a truck that was parked in front of a building.
And what did it do?
It wiped out all the records that were on file for geofencing for a certain group of people that were
Under investigation. So, guys, we got a lot of things going on. Appreciate everybody in chat. Love you all. Thank you for being in there. Hit that thumbs up before we exit out of here. Thanks to everybody being on the show. We had some good stuff. One of these days, we're gonna just take one whole show and just go back over all of our conspiracy theories. Larry's gonna love it and push back on us.
Yeah, but
but we're gonna have fun.
How many of them have become true, though?
Hey, the difference between a conspiracy theory and the truth is about 3 months now.
Just remember, I'm a round earther.
That's fine.
Okay.
I believe it
I
is
just-
totally round, like a big pizza.
Well,
Yeah,
what
but
about
there's
the
two other-
what about the frozen ends?
Yeah, but there's two other things that he talks about. The landing on the moon. I'm really questioning whether or not that was real.
It didn't happen.
You're starting
It
to.
was filmed in a pool.
You're like,
I mean, who was on the moon?
Go watch the
filming?
movie.
Right.
They'll tell you.
who you? Wait, how did they get a
Wait a
camera
minute.
down there?
God,
Yeah.
Patrick, do I have
Yeah,
to square
yeah,
you away?
yeah.
You know those poles that you take selfies with?
Yeah, they didn't have
actually
those.
invented it. A lot of shit's invented.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
say
yeah.
invented it.
You know what? They can't put a GoPro on the space on the International Space Station or in Antarctica. A GoPro.
Yeah.
They couldn't put a GoPro on any of these things. They go, oh, we just can't. It's a $500 GoPro.
Yeah.
Listen, it was
We're running the show on 4 of them.
William
It's the
Shatner
chimera
filmed the whole
people.
thing. He got in the Enterprise. He went around the Earth real fast 3 times.
And went back in
rocketed
time.
around the sun. Got to the moon in time to film Armstrong. On the
That
moon.
this is solved. Solved. In a Klingon bird of prey.
Yes.
You guys are hurting my brain.
Well, the other one is the in 9/11.
Yeah.
Why is it all 4 of those buildings went or 3 buildings they went directly straight down?
Yeah. At almost free fall speed into their own footprint.
Yep.
It does not happen. A building
Not
without
unless it's a
explosion and
demolition.
removing the columns, it cannot fall that way. It will continually it'll tip. You watch
And you know who called it? Trump. Before they started spinning their theories, Trump actually talked about the construction of the building and how it's impossible that it could have fallen the way it fell with the way it was constructed because of how it was constructed, and it was stronger than you know what, and there's no way a plane could have taken that down.
And there was a third plane that was supposed to hit Tower 7, which is the one they really wanted to take out. And when that got thwarted, that's when you see Silverstein doing an interview just a little while later saying there was so much loss of life and we didn't know what to do. So they asked us if we should pull it. So I gave the order and they went ahead and pulled it. Now try to find that video.
There's a video
But
on
the
Building
term-
7
the-
where you see
Yeah.
puffs come out.
Yeah. The term pull it is a demolition term. And you can see the puffs of smoke that coffee just did. Hey, love you guys out there. We will see you at least next Tuesday, if not sooner. We may have some breaking things, but you know, we all have day jobs, so we got to do a lot of stuff. But thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Appreciate it. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the QR codes, all that jazz, and let's get out of here.
Nice. Peace out.
I got no controls. You have to mute us, Tim.
This is my brain.
Dad, that's an egg.
Look, Roger.
Honey,
Dude,
that's an egg.
seriously.
That's an egg.
It's a metaphor.
It's still an egg.
That's an egg.
I would challenge you.
That's an egg. I know my brain is not actually an egg, okay? It's a metaphor.
Metaphor or not, that's not your brain.
It's just an egg.
Una cerveza para mí. My egg is my brain.
Can I at least have some bacon, maybe some sausage with that egg, though?
Oh, I want some bacon.
I want crepes. Have some bacon and pancakes with that egg. I'll take it with cheese.
Extra large brown cage-free eggs.
Can I have your brain with hot cakes?
A sausage and a little toast and potato.
That would be great.
Does it have antibiotics?
I don't know, man. I'm not good at this shit.
Well, they got to be able to resist some diseases.
You resist the disease.
Has it got any hormones?
Maybe. It's cage free.
Vegetarian?
Maybe.
Are they vegan?
No, I eat steak.
Never apologize and never explain.
Never apologize.
Never apologize and never explain.
That I have to ask permission if I have any intent on using any of their media of any sort, even transcripts,
and then that